All right. This hooked up properly. Yep. Okay. Actually, wait. I need that. All right. This should just take a minute to get everything all configured up. Where is it? Where's the live stream? Okay, there it is. Oh, not what I meant. Wait, why is it showing that? It's weird. I tried to start it twice on OBS, but it wasn't working. Like it said there was like an error or something. But it created copies anyway. I think it was because of the hashtag thing in the bottom. But anyway, I just gotta do my normal setup for the stream. Hopefully these work now. Okay. Okay, just gotta add these tags. 49. 49. Yes, save. Okay, that's on. Now I just gotta share it with everyone. Let's go to community. Yeah, let's post it on community tab first. Everything feels so slow right now. Like I don't know. Like I did try to like add stuff. Like I tried to add like a clock to my stream, but like I like completely. It worked at first, but then like it just kind of like failed because I was trying to use like a website and like trying to like capture like browser and stuff. And I just gotta let Discord know. I did add some. I did add like that, but we'll get to that in a moment. Okay. Awesome. All right. That should be everything. But yeah, welcome guys to our 49 stream, 49 finale stream. But yeah, we got quite the interesting evening ahead of us. Obviously, we have the finale ahead of us. Just opening up the controller now. But welcome everyone so far. So excited for the finale. Glad you are. How long is the address? I think on the broadcast, it's supposed to last 22 minutes, but I guess I can just double check real fast right here, right now. I need to turn on my Wi-Fi on this phone. There we go. I believe, yeah. So I believe it's blocked out in the schedule for 22 minutes there. Let me just check the program. Okay, so I have my cable listing here. So it says 8 to 9, and then yep, 9 to 9:22. That's the speech, and then it's gonna resume from 9:22 to 11:22. Okay. Okay, so 22 minutes are set aside. Are you gonna pause the live stream? No, I'm gonna stay on stream. It'd just be too much of a hassle to have to restart stream and everything, especially like without everyone, all y'all here. We'll just stay here and chat during that time. Uh, no, it's supposed to be on like on all like the pretty much any channel that has like news. is going to have it. So like Fox, I know Fox is also like interrupting their finale for the floor. The floor is supposed to be on during that time, and it's also supposed to be like paused and stuff. NBC, yeah, it's literally like pretty much any news station you can think of. So like CBS, obviously they have news. ABC, Fox, CNN, all pretty much anywhere you can watch news is where you can watch the address. I don't know why. It's I'm looking at my monitor right now, and what the heck? I don't know. Like it's been a while since I streamed, but I don't know why the layout's all different from before. But it's like there's like weird stuff happening now with I'm just trying to catch my bearings with like the studio and everything. Like the screen's weird, like all that stuff. Where I'm not even 100% sure like how I'm not 100% sure if it's affecting stream or not. But for now, it seems fine. Okay, it's just like off to the side. Okay, I can just like scroll. It's like a bar in the bottom. Okay, we're fine. Uh, excited to see who wins, but also the 50 preview. Yeah, that's gonna be the big. That's gonna be like the big story. It's like seeing like the 50 preview. I actually had a poll question asking. Yeah, one of the poll questions tonight is who's gonna be featured on the 50 trailer. Obviously, that's gonna be pretty big here. Hey Jamie, I'm doing pretty well. I can't wait for the 50 preview. So am I. I mean, I'll be very excited to see how that goes. Um, Savannah doesn't win the season, then this would be a disappointing final. Yeah, probably. Yeah, because I know like there's a lot of people like talking highly about Rizzo. Like I know a lot of people like see Rizzo as like a big player. They'd be excited to see him win. Um, I don't know. I'd just be fine with it. I mean, really, it's like outside of those two, it's like I mean, I think Sophie B played a fine game, but it's like I think Christina or Sage winning would be kind of lame. Though to be fair, I don't think that's happening. Prediction on winner of 50. Well, I'm gonna be doing a preseason power ranking for that. So there's that. Oh, and also, I mean, I know there are spoilers out there, but like to be fair, there are also spoilers for there's also spoilers out there for 49, which I've been pretty lucky to avoid, mostly because I don't use Twitter, but at the same time, it's like they are out there, and I do have to factor in the possibility that people are going to post that stuff in the comments, which we definitely don't want. So don't do it. We need to see Jenna and Colby opening the preview since they played in the first season. Yeah, so again, I had the poll question, and I was thinking about that. It's like I was thinking about like, so the question is, who will be featured the first on the trailer? Like, who's going to be the first to get like a feature segment, whether it's like a shot of them or whether it's them like doing a voiceover or something. And I was thinking about this. And I was like thinking about like, okay, well, how did they want to open the trailer? Are they going? And like that was one of my thoughts is like they're gonna like pull like a really old school player like Jenna or Colby on there, being like, 25 years ago I played Survivor, and now I'm back. You know, like they could do it that way. Or are they gonna go for like a more iconic figure? Are they gonna go for like a Suri maybe? Like maybe Suri says something like cool. Or are they going to go for like Christian? Like, because obviously Christian's like really good narrator. Maybe they would want to lean on him to do narration. Or maybe like Mike White. Like I think there's like a number of different ways that they could go about it for like opening up the trailer. Obviously, they're gonna have all these people. Like I would expect Jenna to be on there. Like they want to bring up that they want to have her say I played on Borneo. They want to have Colby being like I was the first golden child or whatever. Like they're definitely gonna have all these people in there like to have like their like selling point for being on 50. It's just a question, but the poll question is specifically asking who's gonna be shown first, and I think there's a number of different ways they can go about it. Let's see. Do you think Sophie stands a chance? Realistically, no. I think the last episode was not a great look edit wise for her. I think practically from an in-game standpoint, I think she probably still wins against like Christina or Sage. I think even against Rizzo, I think the jury would just inherently have more respect for her than Rizzo, which I know it's probably not a very popular opinion. Like, because I've seen so much like pro Rizzo stuff on Reddit and online and stuff, and I know people in the comments are talking about how I'm too high on Sophie B. They think that she stands no chance now that she made the knowledge is power play, which like I've been thinking about like the whole like knowledge is power play. People were talking about how like she should have stole the idol and stuff, and it's like I don't know. It's like I think there's like a number of different ways you can think about it because it's like on one hand, it's like yeah, you need. It's not a great look to not take the idol there, and I think especially when you had been telling people that oh, I'm thinking about flipping on Rizzo and Savannah. They're the biggest threats to win the game, and then you have this opportunity to make a move against them, and it's like you don't do it. And obviously, that's not a great look from a jury perspective. And plus, you can argue it's like yeah, she probably should be making the flip. But at the same time, like I don't think it's like the death sentence that like people are talking about. Like people are talking about like the knowledge is power play is like this like oh like this massive like turning point for Sophie B. Talking about how like oh like I liked Sophie B. Like I thought she was a great character, but then after she did this, she became lame, man. Or this is an all time bad move, and it's like it's not that bad because I still think it's like practically speaking, it's like even if you are thinking about flipping, like the Final Five is still there. Like you can still flip at Final Five, and you can even argue that it's like okay, you need to get out Steven. So it's like okay, you put out Steven in this spot, take a one threat from that side, but then like you can play the middle and like flip to the other side, Final Five, take out like Rizzo or Savannah, like another big threat, and then you come to the Final Four where it's like you're in a much better spot to get to the Final Three at that point against like Christina and Sage, obviously, because it's like obviously that would be your ideal Final Three if you want to get towards the end. But on the other hand, it's like, okay, so let's say you take the idol here. Okay, you take the idol. Maybe you still vote out Steven anyway. But then it's like, okay, you just play the idol Final Five. Okay. Take out one of Rizzo Savannah at that point. So it's like, it's like, yeah, it's like maybe at the end of the day, she should have taken the idol anyway. But it's like, people are talking about it's like this all time bad move. And it's like made worse by the fact that the play that she did go for by using it for Steven's vote block. Like obviously that failed, but it's like she didn't know like that it had to be played before tribal. So it's like again like I think people are kind of blowing it out of proportion, like how bad like the Sophie knowledge is power play is. But again, there's just stuff I've been seeing. Hey Will, glad you could join us here tonight. Don't think Rizzo or Sophie win because when they have gotten a better edit? Probably. I mean, I think Rizzo in particular, like, should have gotten a better edit. Like, I think like his edit during a lot of the post merge has been pretty lacking, if I'm being perfectly honest. Sophie B is like, she was like more. I think she was treading more water, at least until this latest episode. But yeah, it's like I think like the Laurel comparisons to Sophie B make a lot of sense at this point. Savannah is clearly winning edgewise. It's not even close. Yeah, I agree. Love your channel. Thank you. Tatsuya Tatsuyame. Tatsuyame. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the content. Savannah kinda reminds me of a D. I don't know if anyone else sees it. Maybe in terms of her winning challenges, I think game position wise, it's. I mean, it's like kind of. It's like in a way, it's like D was like kind of seen as a threat from the outsiders of her alliance. But I feel like Savannah was like in more direct danger for more of the game than D ever was. Where it's like Savannah's like you can argue that she needed immunities at certain points. Obviously, the split tribal is a hairy spot if her side loses. I think Savannah was in a lot more danger than D ever was. But then again, it's like D also got the Final Five round, which again we'll see how Savannah plays that. But I think there is a bit of a difference in that regard. Not an all-time bad move for Sage and Christina. I was talking about it from Sophie B's perspective, like in terms of her like flipping to that side at that latest tribal. Are you live streaming the whole finale? If yes, did you? Yeah. So the plan is again when the break happens at 9 o'clock for the speech. I mean, I'm just gonna stay on stream. Like I'm just gonna like again, we'll just stay on stream because it's like it's not really practical for me to like sign off for like 22 minutes because like that's what the cable listing says. That's supposed to be off for 22 minutes. From what I understand, it's like it's supposed to be like a White House address, so it's like it can't be that long. I mean, it's like usually those are just like a couple minutes. So I think what would happen is like okay, 9 o'clock, they're gonna cut to the like the pundits and stuff. They're gonna like talk for a few minutes, like talking about like the speech and stuff before the speech happens. Then the speech happens. I'm guessing it's gonna take like 7 or 8 minutes if I had to guess. Like I can't imagine it's gonna be that long, from what I've heard at least, and also based on like what the listings are. So I think it's gonna be like okay, a couple minutes of like the pundits talking before the speech. Speech itself takes a couple minutes, and then they're gonna do like then the pundits are gonna talk a little bit more about like what they just saw, and then they're just gonna cut back to the show. Like I don't think it's gonna take that long, and it's like it's not really worth it for me to like end stream and then like restart stream. Like it's like I think it's just easier, more practical for me to stay on stream the whole time. Plus, also, it's like it can kind of be like a breather for us to like just talk about like other stuff, like what's been happening with the show so far, as well as like again like answering like any questions and stuff. So again, I'm gonna stay on stream the whole time. Like I'm not really gonna like waste too much time with like trying to like end stream and stuff like that. Does it say okay? Wait, 10 people on. This is such like a weird layout. Like, why is the screen like I'm just like reacting to, like my studio like for layout. It's like sort of weird because like I feel like the screen is taking up so much space, and it's like everything else is like very like everything else like is like very like smushed off to the side. So no, see the thing on the am I pointing in the right direction? Yeah, okay. Yeah, see this disclaimer here. I am not showing the show. So you're gonna have to find your own way to watching it. I will be giving a play-by-play though. Like so like even if you're unable to watch it, even if you don't have like an alternative means, like we'll still be like talking about the events as they happen. And this is like, very much supposed to be like a live reaction. So again, I'm not going to be showing the show. One, because of copyright, but also because one, copyright. Two, I think my computer would explode if I tried to do it. Like the bandwidth required to like live stream. And I just don't have like the layout to do it anyway. So like, I mean, it's like I'm literally watching it on my phone here. This phone that's like 6 years old at this point. It's not my main phone. Like my main phone is this. I use this for so like I have this phone. This phone's like 6 years old, and it's like it has like my cable app on it. That's how what I use to like watch like cable and stuff. Then you have my regular phone. This is what I where I have Paramount Plus on. So it's like I could watch it on my regular phone, but like from my experience, Paramount Plus is behind like the cable app, so it's like it's probably easier to watch it on this in order to ensure that it's like up to date and everything. But anyway, um, so we are now just a few minutes from the start of the show. I should probably get my AirPods. I've been having them charged on the floor, so it's like they should be charged and ready to go at this point. There we go. All right. Just gotta get configured and everything. It's probably easier if I just take off my. Yep. Yep. Oh, I realized I haven't even had these plugged in. But I don't really need them really. And I guess I can just plug them in. I'll just plug them into my mic. Um, plug them into my mic, and that way I can use both AirPods for the show. These AirPods are also like kind of old, and it's like they don't emit sound very well, so I have to have them turn up quite a bit. But anyway, okay, just turning it on. Okay. All right, so our commercial right now. All right. Yeah, these should be running. Okay. All right. So it's now 7:59, close to the start of the show here. Let me just see what's happening. Because Steven would have been in the Savannah spot where he needs one out to win the game. I mean, you need both of them out. Like if you're like on the perspective of like needing the flip, like you need both Savannah and Steven out because Steven's been talked about as a threat, Savannah's been talked about as a threat. You can't have both of them at the end. I think while they have had bad moves, I think Sage and Christina still have a decent chance because they probably have friends on the jury, but it does depend on the jury. Please play the best. I don't know because it's like again I had talked about this in the jury scenarios video, but it's like you have Christina, like Christina. It's like okay, you have like Steven who like she had like a good personal relationship with, but like we saw in the latest episode that like Steven doesn't really look that highly of Christina as a player. Where we saw in the episode him calling her a sloppy player, and then when asked about it in the exit interview, he was talking about how like she was like leaking information and it was just like kind of a liability for him in the game. So it's like I don't know how much he really respects that. And then moving over again, like I think really it's like of the Hinas on the jury, it's like you have like Nate. Like Nate's gonna be like he's gonna be signing with his Ulis. Like he was very close to Rizzo, Savannah in the game. I think Sophie B is someone he's even open to voting for. You have Alex, who again I think kind of thinks similarly to Steven, where it's like he had a good personal relationship with Christina. Anyway, the show is starting now, so what do I even transition to? I guess tribal because like we're seeing Jeff right now. All right, so the show's starting now, and then right now it's just Jeff talking, but I can keep talking. So it's like Alex also has a good relationship with Christina, but again, I don't know if it translates to him like respecting her game. I think he kind of thinks similarly to Steven in that regard, where it's like he likes her, but it's like he doesn't see her as like the greatest player of this Final Five. Really, it's like I think MC is probably the closest to voting for Christina, like, and even that, but that's more sort of a sympathy vote. I think I talked about in the jury scenarios video. Um, hey, hey, glad you could join us. My cable thing says it's gonna end at 11:22, so not the worst in the world. Definitely not as bad as what it could have been. Using the rabbit ear antennas for no buffering or lag. If I'm in Pacific time and there's a channel playing Survivor in Eastern time, will I still get the speech according to time? I mean, you're gonna get the speech. Like, obviously, it's like it's gonna like like it's not gonna interrupt the finale because it's not going to interrupt the finale because it's like if you're in Pacific, then it's going to air at West Coast time, so it's like 8 p.m. Pacific time. But the speech is going to air like at 6 o'clock your time, so before the finale airs where you are. But obviously on the East Coast, speech is going to fall right in the middle of the episode. But anyway, Jeff just finished his spiel. We're now getting to this big intro package showing each of the final five. We have Rizzo talking first. Okay, we're getting the previous Eon segment. Was there an alternate final three since 45-46? We have Steven focusing on his Blockavo from last tribal. Jeff saying why the finale could be setting up an exciting endgame. Yeah, that's the one thing. Like Jeff did say that this was going to be an exciting endgame. So take all that for what you will. I personally don't think it's going to be that exciting because, again, the way I see the finale going is like I think we are still getting final three of Rizzo, Savannah, and Sophie B, where I think Savannah wins because I think those three probably have the most. Their edits are probably the most in line with like I think Rizzo and Sophie B. They have edits that are like kind of in line with a runners up edit, where it's like both of them are like kind of showing as like these big players, but also have they have elements of highlighting why they lose. Where it's like for Rizzo, I think he loses because it's like he's like valuing style over substance with like his like shenanigans with the idol, and then Sophie B, she loses because she doesn't flip. So like I think that's the story we're getting set up there. Savannah has like the setup being like a threat, but overcoming that, and then she just gets to the end and beats both of them. Whereas I feel like Christina and Sage don't really have that setup there. Anyway, we just finished the recap here. We're now getting to the actual episode here. Can you just show the video? No, I can't just show the video, and I don't want to show the video. Anyway, everyone's just congregating now. Anyway, Sage gets the first confessional. Who got voted out? Steven got voted out last week. The episode literally just started, so no one's been eliminated tonight. Anyway, Sage is talking. Anyway, she is just propping up Steven right now. She talks about playing for herself. Hi, Ricard. Glad you could join us here. We got Rizzo and confessional now. Yeah, we have Rizzo highlighting his idol expiring lie, essentially. Yeah, he's talking about how he's guaranteed a spot in the final four. So he's gonna have his idol to use this round, so you think he would use it. Just one immunity away from winning the game. Remember that line from Rizzo. All right, we have Sophie B talking about how she looks like an idiot. Now she's getting a confessional about not playing it successfully. Yep, she feels like it's a bad look for the jury. And she's talking about how she regrets not taking the idol. This is not great. Not a great start here. What happened if Sage was final three since Austin Ben? Like what do you mean? Like do you mean if I think she gets like third place? Anyway, we're getting the theme song now. Episode setting up Savannah comps, potentially. We're getting the theme song right now. Is this going uh again, see the disclaimer on the top. Do you think the season would be more or less predictable had we not known the two season 50 people? Uh I mean, obviously knowing the 50 people made it like very obvious, and I think it made me probably more confident in their ability to like get through the game. I do think there's enough there edit wise, at least for Savannah, to where I think I would have been pretty confident in her even if I didn't know she was on 50. Rizzo, I think if I didn't know about Rizzo, I think I would have just shot him up as like a bigger player, someone who would be taking her around like the Steven spot. Though to be fair, even on this, though even with knowing that, I think I would have expected him to be like the like final seven, final six boot, kind of like taking out like in like the Drew spot from 45. Like I don't really, I wouldn't have really seen him as someone who makes it to the finale because it's like his pre-merge was like not that prominent. Where it's like I felt like he got like a lot of like circumstantial content in the pre-merge. I think Savannah though, I think she would have stood out no matter what, like based off her edit. Anyway, we're getting to the scramble now for the advantage, which I guess we can like at least show some poll results here. I guess that You know, I'm just trying to open up Discord here. So, oh boy, we got some new peeps. Welcome, Barter Ducks, to the Discord server. Let me see. So, Savannah was the favorite to get the advantage with 9 votes, 56% of the vote here. I should probably use the other screen for this. But no, that's the wrong thing. No, that's the no. I need to have it open on the tab. Okay, that was worth a shot, but okay. So we got Savannah's the favorite. Okay. Nope. So Savannah seems to have a lead right now. So they're basically just putting together a puzzle. That it's a puzzle that shows a map to where the advantage is. Then now we have Rizzo copying the puzzle here. How do you watch in Canada? Well, Canada, it airs on Global, so it's like if you have Global, you can watch it. But again, I don't know like unofficial ways to watch it really. Found something funny online I want to share. Rachel McAdams did a Survivor audition video. Interesting. Rachel McAdams or Rachel Adams? Because I know Rachel. I've heard the name Rachel Adams, but oh, we have Savannah digging. Do you think Savannah, Rizzo, George, and Hale are compared? I feel like you've asked me that before. I mean, kind of. I mean, like in the sense that both. I mean, I think there's a bit of a difference in that they weren't working together the whole time. Like, because obviously George took out Haley, and then Haley came back in the game, and yeah, like while they were working together by the end of the game, they were not necessarily working together the entire time. Like, they were kind of working together in the pre-merge. Then George flipped on her, took her out. Then she came back in the game. Then he was working with her again at that point. Whereas Rizzo and Savannah, like they've been working together like the entire time. Like there was never a point where Rizzo and Savannah were targeting each other. Rizzo finally acknowledged chat. Imagine the game was actually interesting enough. They didn't need to do this silly crap time filler. Yeah, it's not. Again, it's like kind of pointless. I mean, it's like, to be fair, it's like how many times has the final 5 round been like interesting on Survive? Well, I mean, I guess there have been plenty of interesting final 5 rounds, but it's like in recent memory, it's like really it's like you got like the 45 final 5 that was interesting. That's probably like the most recent example, right? Or just complete train wreck of a tribal. Just caught up on the season, so I wish I could watch finale from the UK. Well, from the UK, it's like what time is it? Like it's probably like what, like midnight where you're at? Like must be late. What are the odds Savannah ends up being the Joe Hunter Jesse Lopez season? I think Jesse and Joe are kind of different types, right? Where it's like Joe's like the massive character of the season that lost a jury vote. Jesse's someone who would have won a jury vote, but he got sniped out or taken out, I should say. So it's like I feel like they're a little bit different. Um, but I guess to answer your question, we have Sophie B like going for the advantage right now. She's like hooking. It's like in a tree, and she's just chucking coconuts at it, trying to get it down. Now she's grabbing a massive bamboo stick, trying to like poke at it to get it down. Has it started? Did stream start? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, stream's happening, but Sophie B has gotten the advantage. All right. What the heck? So, it's buffering. I think that's Savannah saying, if I couldn't find it, then I'm glad Sophie B found it. Yeah, it's Savannah saying it. All right, so 16 people voted. One person voted for Sophie B. That person is Colin. So good job, Colin. You got a point. Anyway, we are now at commercial. All right. 1.15. LOL. Trying to watch on CBS and isn't working. That's unfortunate. Dragon Jazz getting an obvious winner at an Amazing Race. Yeah, I'd say it was pretty obvious. I mean, if you watch my power ranking for that season, it's like they're pretty consistently high on the power ranking. I feel like they got very strong content. I feel like aside from Tucker and Eric, I do think other people kind of got some more to do as the season went along, but it's like I think Jag and Jazz got like enough solid content mixing in their performance where it's like, yeah, probably pretty obvious. I think I meant more as a person everyone assumes a woman ends up no. Okay, yeah, yeah, I get what you mean. So to answer that question, obviously you never really know. It's like obviously like we have seen like curveballs thrown at us in the past. I think, I think if there is gonna be a curveball, probably be Sophie B. Like, because like we did see Sophie B like talking at the beginning of the episode about how like she wants to correct her mistake. So it's like I think if it's not Savannah winning, it's probably Sophie B. Because I think if Sophie B is able to like have this turnaround cut Savannah at Final Five, Final Four, gets to the end with like Christina, Sage, possibly even Rizzo. I think she probably wins. And again, I know that's not the popular opinion, but like I do think Sophie B, like I don't think she's necessarily out of it from it. I don't think she has zero win equity. Like I think there are scenarios where she wins based off what we've heard up to this point. And I think if she's able to play like a dynamic end game, then it's like, and I think if Jeff articulates that, then yeah, I think Sophie B could win. Think her first row is low key good, second row is high key bad. Yeah, yeah, she definitely had like a shot of it, getting it sooner. Yep, CBS Paramount Plus. Oh, you're international. Using VPN, that could be why. Uh, are you having it? Are you what? Like, if you have a VPN, do you have it set to like Eastern, like to like an Eastern or Central time zone CBS affiliate, or are you like on like Pacific or like West Coast time? But anyway, it's challenge time. So it is now time for Final Five immunity. We got a pretty big obstacle course here, which is to be expected. Come on in. So let's see what the polls say for this. So this was a pretty clear consensus here. So Savannah is the clear favorite here for winning Final Five immunity, getting 100% of the vote here. Again, pretty good. Obviously, we just saw everyone assumed Savannah would get the advantage, which obviously did not happen. So basically, if Savannah does not win immunity here, then Savannah does not win immunity, then that means no one gets any points here for this question, which would be pretty funny. Anyway, do you use prediction markets for your power ranking? No. No, I think prediction markets, like, I don't really use them really. Like, I don't really do like that type of gambling. Like, yeah, I don't really like pay attention to those at all. And I also think it's kind of weird doing it for like especially for a season like 49 that was like very much spoiled. Like I feel like there'd be a lot of insider trading going on where it's like people will probably be using like the spoilers to like make like their like picks and stuff. So like I would assume that'd be pretty spoilery if I used the prediction markets. Do we think there's any shot Sage wins? I mean, again, I assume like the best case scenario for Sage is probably like Christina and Rizzo, and then she like is able to like talk up her game, like talking about how she flipped and stuff. Like I think Sage's game is like not entirely bad. Like, I think she can definitely pitch herself as like a very like active player, but it's like the issue that I have with her is like I just don't think the jury respects her. Like despite the fact that she played like this dynamic game, like I think that's like I think it's just like I guess like archetype she gives off. Like I think through that people would assume that she's like a more emotional player or someone who's like flipping on a whim and stuff, like without much like consideration for like long term stuff. Again, like the Sophie S like flip, the fact that she like portrayed that as revenge. Like I think like if she like presented it that way to people on the island, then it's like I don't think they're gonna see it as like, oh, it's like she's taking out Sophie S as like this big threat. So it's like, I think the way that the other jurors are talking about her like is also like not looking great in terms of like how they like see her game. Outside Joanna, I guess. But anyway, we are now getting to the start of the challenge here. All right, we are now off to the races here. First, I gotta dive through a mud net, like a mud pit that has like a net under it. Again, it's gonna be pretty hard to maneuver here. So anyway, so far everyone is making their way through that here. Seems like Christina has like the early advantage here, surprisingly. Christina is the first to break out, and we get a slow mo shot of her shooting out of the net here. But Savannah's like right. Actually, Savannah's the first one out there, which is funny that Christina got the slow mo when she wasn't even the first one out. But Savannah is the first to get to like the sandpit. So we got Sage in third place, Rizzo in fourth, and Sophie B really struggling. The only one not on the sandpit. So they got to dig through sand now to try to get probably some keys in order to get to the next phase here. But everyone's digging. Christina's the first to grab her bag. Savannah's not far behind though. They got their bags here, and they gotta for a grappling hook. They gotta use a grappling hook to rein in like something that will allow them to get to the next part of the challenge here. Sophie B is finally out of the mud pit and making her way to the sand pit now. Looks like Sage is in third place now. She has her grappling hook here. So far, Savannah and Christina are working on the grappling hook here, not really making too much progress in getting the ball that they need to retrieve with said net here, but we have Rizzo hitting his grappling hook now. Still, no one's really making much progress here, but Rizzo is the first to get his grappling hook through. Rizzo has now taken the lead despite having previously been in fourth place. Now he's making his way to the next step, which is climbing up a ladder and then sliding down a ball pit. Actually, no, he has to get through a crow's nest first in order to retrieve a set of keys that will get into the next phase here. We have Savannah finally getting a hold on the hook here. She has her ladder now. She is now in second place, making her way up the ladder here. Sophie B is in third place now. Christine and Sage have really lost a lot of ground here, but Rizzo still holding onto his lead. He has his bag now. Savannah not too far behind though. Rizzo's now making his way down the slide. Savannah is now in the crow's nest. She has her bag now, drops it down to the bottom of the slide. She's making her way down. Meanwhile, the other three are still working with the grappling hook here, but it looks like Christina is going to be the next person to get her grappling hook through, her ladder down. Rizzo's the first to be in the next phase, which involves tossing a ball onto like the Y-shape formation. We've seen it plenty of times before on Survivor, but Savannah's not far behind. They're working on that part of the challenge now to really unlock that final part of the challenge. Christina, though, not far behind, has a very painful landing when she got down the slide, but she says she's fine, but is a bit slow to get up here. Christina is in third place right now. She's moving very gingerly to that next part of the challenge here. Savannah, though, seems to be taking the lead. She got her ball through the Y crate thing, and she now has to maneuver. So in order to get to it, she has to now roll on a barrel. She has to stand on top of a barrel and roll herself over to like where the hook is in order to get to the final stage of the challenge. Rizzo not far behind though. Really, Savannah and Rizzo are currently in the lead here. Sophie B, we now have Sophie B, who's still pretty far behind, still in the grappling hook section. But Sage now has passed the crow's neck section of the challenge, getting to the ball section. And Sophie B is now in last place by a lot, despite the fact that she has the advantage, which is pretty funny here. And with the advantage like not even coming to play until like the last part of the challenge, will it even matter though? She is making some progress though. She is now making her way up to the ladder, finally getting to the crow's nest section here. But Savannah is currently in the lead here. She is pretty close to the end of the barrel section of the course, but Rizzo's not far behind. Sophie B is now onto the ball section, but we now have Savannah, who has now completed the barrel section. She is now able to climb. She has to assemble a puzzle, the ladder, but Rizzo is now working on the ladder puzzle. Really, it's Rizzo and Savannah still in the lead here, while the others are a bit further behind at this point. Savannah and Rizzo are currently working on the ladder section of things. Sage, though, looks like Sage has fallen off the barrel. She has to go back to the start. It looks like she was pretty close, which is a pretty unfortunate blow here. So we have Sophie B now. She's now on to the barrel component of the challenge here. We have Rizzo now taking a lead here. Rizzo's the first to complete the to get to the top of the platform here, completing the ladder, but Savannah is right behind him. And now it's going to come down to a puzzle that will determine who will win this challenge here. We have Sophie B now getting to the ladder, and this is the part of the challenge where she can use her advantage here. So she's going to have a slight edge here, so she'll be able to close some of the gap here between Savannah and Rizzo here. But she is making some work in getting to the top of that ladder. We now cut to Sage getting pretty close to the end of the barrel. Looks like she was able to get to the end of the barrel component here, but Christina, though, Christina takes another tumble here on the barrel. She had a pretty big fall here. Again, Christina just really taking a lot of hits here during this challenge, and she looks exhausted at this point. Just slowly rolling the barrel back to the start to have to restart that portion of the challenge here. But Sophie B is now on top of the ladder here, and now it is Savannah, Rizzo, and Sophie B working on that final puzzle, the final part of the challenge that will determine who will win Final 5 immunity here. We have Savannah putting in a piece here to start. Rizzo still trying to organize his pieces, doesn't have any pieces in yet. Savannah, though, is the only person to have a piece in place here. Sophie B is also trying to organize her pieces. Again, Savannah is the only one who's actually put in pieces so far. Doesn't seem like Savannah did a lot of organizing ahead of time. It seems like Rizzo and Sophie B are trying to organize themselves so that they can move through the puzzle a bit more quickly here. But it looks like Christina is now made it to the top of the ladder here and is now working on the puzzle as well. Seems like Sage is now the only person not working on the puzzle at this point here. At least I don't see Sage. I don't see where Sage is at this point. We haven't really focused on her much in the last few minutes, but Christina is now starting to work on that puzzle here. We see her putting in a piece here. Savannah, though, still has the lead here. She is really working on that puzzle, having a decent amount of pieces in at this point. But Rizzo is now starting to put in some pieces himself. It seems like Rizzo is now solidly in second place here. Oh, Sage is now working on the puzzle, actually. I guess I talked over that bit, but Sage is now working on the puzzle here, but Savannah remains in the lead at this point. Sophie B is kind of just, she's trying to copy off Rizzo here. She's trying to gain some inspiration here. Seems like Savannah's taking a bit of an interesting tact here where it's she's trying to, so it's a circle puzzle, right? And she's trying to complete the perimeter of the puzzle before working on the interior. She has the entire perimeter sorted at this point. She's filling in the middle components here. Seems like Sophie B has a bit more progress at this point, probably from copying off Rizzo. Again, she is copying off Rizzo, even though Rizzo's behind, but I guess Rizzo's a bit closer to her. So we have Savannah now getting pretty close now to finishing the puzzle at this point. Sage looks like she's just given up at this point. Savannah is pretty close to giving up. Jeff is just glazing over the fact that she's about to tie the record here. Everyone's just giving up at this point. They're just watching her put in the final piece. And just like that, Savannah has won Final 5 immunity, her 4th immunity of the season and tying the female record. She has tied the record alongside who we got? Chrissy, we got Kelly Wigglesworth, Jenna Maraska, Kim Spradlin. I think I'm missing one person. Anyway, what website are you watching it on? I am watching it on cable. I'm watching it through the official means here. Oh yeah, Rachel. I guess Rachel also tied the record. Forgot about her. Anyway. Oh yeah, she also has a reward to do as well. She has to pick someone for reward. People have been saying that like every reward too. It's like everyone's like picked each other for a reward, but all right, she has picked Sage for reward here. All right, she's picked Sage. Probably to keep her away from camp. I mean, I assume like maybe they're gonna want to target Sage at this point, and they want to keep her away from camps to keep her from campaigning. I think that's the thought process here. Anyway. Or we have Savannah talking about how she has been a target for so much of the game. Feels like pretty good content at this point. However, we are now on commercial break. All right, so let me just react here. How will this impact if Serenity and rewards? You've asked me that question before. Yeah, you've asked me that question before. I don't think it. I've said this before. I don't think they care about what the outcome is. I think they just care like that it's an entertaining product. You know, like they again, there's only so much they can do to like prevent like someone from winning all the competitions. Like, because like you can obviously like try to make more equitable comps, but it's like again, you just don't know like how like things are gonna shake down when all things are said and done. Um, Sage makes past this round and win final four immunity and throws herself in the fire against Savannah. Does Sage have a shot at winning this game? I don't know. I mean, like obviously it might help, but it's like I think the problem with Sage is not that she's not an active player. It's like I think it's just her inherent perception to a lot of these players here. Like I think a lot of these players just inherently like wouldn't be inclined to reward someone like Sage with the win. And it's like I feel like she's already played like a pretty dynamic game to like I don't know how much of a difference her throwing herself in the fire would make at this point. Like and especially like if she loses like Christina in this round and like goes into final four uh with Rizzo, Savannah, and Sophie B, I think she probably like would be best like just cutting one of them. It's like because like even if you get out Savannah, it's like you still I would still be worried about going to a final tribal with Rizzo or Sophie B. So it's like I think at that point it's like if you're Sage and you win final four immunity again with those three other I guess like Ulis plus Sophie B, then it's like at that point it's like you're just gonna have to like rest on your game, take out one of them, and then just like again just argue the merits of your game at that point. Like because I think Sage has an argument to make based off her game. Like I don't think like she's like missing a move per se. I think she just needs to like articulate her game in a way that like shows the jury that she had like a plan essentially. That advantage is wasted on Sophie. She's so bad at challenges. Again, like she at least got to the puzzle. Like she was at least like in it by the end of it. Of course. Glad you could join us, Daniel. He's Was it? Please tell me there isn't a medevac in Final Five. Again, I don't think there's a medevac. Like, I think again, like, yeah, Christina had some tumbles and stuff, but it's like, I think she's again, she'll be fine. Um. Oh yeah, you mentioned Rachel. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, so Savannah just tied the record with this fourth win. So if she wins Final Four immunity, then she breaks the female record. She breaks the female record and she ties like the overall record at 5, which would be pretty cool. Especially like when the female record was set back in season 1, like the fact that like we haven't had a woman win 5 immunity challenges in a season, like despite us literally getting like one with 4 like right at the bat, like it's pretty crazy. Starts to say they've been trying to get Savannah now when they've been over backwards for every opportunity. Uh, Congratulations, Savannah, for winning 49 at this point. Yeah, I do think like again, like the plan is straightforward. Like again, you make sure Sophie B doesn't flip again, and if you get to the final four with like one of Christina or Sage, then it should be smooth sailing. It's like again, because like, you're already the most likely to win like an immunity challenge at this point. Like again, I don't think any of the others like demonstrate themselves to be that like effective. We are back from commercial. You know, we're showing the 3 losers back at camp just washing themselves off. We have Christina talking now. We have her hoping she can flip Sophie B. Was she going to be the easy vote, though? Okay, we have Christina basically admitting she doesn't believe Rizzo's idol thing. So, again, just not great on Rizzo's end, where she doesn't even believe, like, his idol isn't good anymore. It looks like Christina is, like, talking to Rizzo and Sophie B to target Sage, potentially. We have 3 men who won 5 individual immunity, no women so far. It's more than 3, right? Because you have Colby, Tom, Ozzy, Mike, Brad, right? It's like 5. All right, we have Christina saying she wants to go into fire against Savannah. Oh yeah, Terry too. That's 6. Yeah, it's not always easy when you're live, like and trying to like think on the spot. All right, we have Sophie B saying she was hoping Savannah would have lost immunity, saying she was hoping to target Savannah, which again, not a great look for Sophie B's chances here. Yeah, it seems like Sophie B's like kind of resigned now, because like yeah, it's like Sophie's like kind of like unable to flip right now. Like she has to like go for like one of Christina or Sage at this point. The worst Survivor winner all time is Chris Underwood. I hate that season. I mean, I agree. I mean, Chris is at the bottom of my winner ranking. Though I think I think considering the context of like his game, it's like it's not like again like he made the most of his opportunities and stuff. Anyway, we're now cutting to Savannah and Sage on the reward. All right, so it seems like Savannah is like claiming like this was not a game move, how she just like personally wanted to give Sage the reward. I do think this is like an opportunity again. Like, I think taking Sage like makes sense. Like again, like I think current game perspective, like Sage is probably the bigger threat. Like she's probably the one I'd be more worried about to win final immunity. So it's like you should be taking out Sage to the spot. And I think taking Sage on the reward like is good for like your game because it's like it means she's not back at campaigning, and like I think it's also like potential for her to like do jury management essentially, or like try to like butter her up before sending her to the jury. And especially Sage, just like Sage is like probably like one of the less likely people to vote for you, like vote for Savannah at least. So it's like you gotta at least try something. Okay, so Savannah's like, I want to target Christina because Christina's good at fire. All right, now getting back to the regular camp. We got Sophie B, Savannah, and Rizzo talking now. All right, so Savannah wants to target Christina while Rizzo and Sophie B want to target Sage. All right, so now they're cutting to Christina like being good at fire or making fire. All right, so I think this is setting up like who's gonna get their way here. Savannah cutting Christina here is a good move. If she takes her to final trouble in the event of a tie, I don't see Christina going with Savannah. I, I mean, yeah, but it's like Sage. Again, I don't think Sage is that much more likely to vote for uh Savannah either because like I don't think again Sage doesn't like Christina. Sage doesn't like Savannah either. So it's like I don't like obviously it's like an issue like on Savannah's game that you have like two people in the final five that like could potentially be in that situation if they got to the final three. But it's like I don't think that should be like I don't think that should be like the deciding factor for like this vote here. Not gonna lie, Savannah's no better player than Joe. They're the same loyalty base and totally unaware of their allies' true intentions. I don't know. I think Savannah's probably a bit more aware than Joe is. Like Joe is someone who like actively like talked up like honor and integrity. I don't think Savannah does that. I think Savannah like she like demonstrates it, but like she does it like she doesn't like preach it essentially. Like she presents herself as someone who's like very like blunt and someone who like wears her heart on her sleeve and someone who's like straight to the point. like which is obviously like a different flavor than like Joe, who's like trying to like act like he's like actually better than everyone else. Any idea where to watch this if I don't hear him out? Again, maybe a VPN, maybe some other source, but like I don't really have like that info here. We have Rizzo and Savannah talking right now. We have Rizzo talking about how they've been working together. I just realized this is the first season nobody ever used a shot in the dark. Uh, let's see. 48, you had Mary using her shot in the dark. 47, you have I think Rachel used it, right? Yeah, Rachel used her shot in the dark. Like, what's the obviously 41 had one being used. 45, obviously. Anyway, we're going to commercial now. Anyway. Yeah, because 41, obviously, you had it being used by like, Sydney. 42, Zach used it, obviously, in a couple other instances. 43, Sammy used it at Final 7. 44, Jamie Lynn used it in a couple other instances. 45, Caleb, obviously, was successful. 46, oh, yeah, I forgot about Mariah, like, using it in 46. 47, yeah, Rachel used it. I remember that. Yeah, 48, you got Mary using it. So, yeah, this is the first season of the new era where no one used it this season. That's crazy. We've gone as far as we can go. Uh, Once again, Christina got that nobody home look in her eyes all the time. That's funny. Who else is just more excited for the? Yeah, I think I can give or take with this actual finale here. Like, I think it. Again, I still think the path here is pretty straightforward. Sage is going. Um, yeah, probably. I mean, because I feel like this Christina's like good at fire thing. It's like I think like you think they would show that if Christina was like actually going into fire, right? Because like I feel like it'd be weird for them to like talk about Christina being good in fire and then showing like that like montage of her making fire. It'd be weird for them to show that and then Christina to not like actually go into fire. Like that just seems kind of weird. Though it would also like kind of be like a weird knock for Savannah as well, because it's like Savannah like talks about wanting Christina to say, Christina to go. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, we've gone as far as a trio can go. At 5 is the wrong thing to say. Yeah, I mean that's modern Survivor for you. Like the fact that the real game ends at Final 5. Rachel used it to gauge if she needs right. Yeah. That's why she used it. You either say that at the Final 3 or you never say that at all. Savannah to win is inevitable, but I thought Dominic Abate was the clear cut winner. Goes Ellen, and I was wrong. Yeah, I do think I did like my like video of like Ghost Island last year, and I do think Dominic probably had like the Dominic definitely felt like more like the main character of the season than Wendell did. Those would be fair, like Wendell did have like some pretty solid content too that like kept him in contention. So I don't think it was like a sure thing that Wendell was going not. I don't think it was like entirely out of the realm possibility that Wendell would win that. But we are now at Tribal Council. Final five, baby. Top five, baby. Top five. Yeah, I think Sage is probably getting voted out here if I had to guess based off where things are going. Feel Sage would win fire against Rizzo and Sophie. Probably. I don't I don't buy Christina being a good fire maker with all the segments we saw Christina being helped doing fire. Yeah, it's also a factor. Like again, I think this is set up for like Christina being like I think they're trying to prop up Christina as like the person to beat in fire. Which if we're assuming if we are assuming that the winner of the season is going to be the person that beats Christina in fire, that probably means Savannah doesn't break the record, right? Like, are we setting up like Savannah going to fire against Christina, or if it's like if Rizzo wins the season, or I don't know about Sophie V at this point. Like, I think if Rizzo wins the season, like, is he gonna beat Christina on fire? Like, is that what we're headed to? I don't know. Rizzo could just not use his idol. I don't. I mean, it was a poll question. I mean, like, I can just pull it up here. Will Rizzo play his idol? I mean, most people said yes, but like a couple people said no too. So it's like, you know. And then the vote again, most people say unanimous vote. So that's what the poll looks like here. There hasn't been a fire all season, so assume none of them are good at fire. Wasn't it Matt? Didn't Matt make the fire? I mean, we saw Matt make the fire on Hina, right? Like, wasn't that like his whole thing from the premiere talking about, oh, I'm gonna prove I'm a provider for everyone. That'll keep me around. Like we saw that, but it's like I don't think it was really focused on beyond that. Um, get the Final Four winner, put themselves in the fire. I mean, yeah, but it's like if you're Savannah, it's like, are you really worried about Christina being a massive jury threat? Like wouldn't you like if you're Savannah? It's like, would you really care if like Rizzo or Sophie B like got sniped out in fire, and then they were there to vote for you on the jury? Because you know that they're gonna be a lot to vote for you on the jury. So it's like, and especially with Christina not being likely to be a vote for you either. So it's like you'd rather have Christina like there. It's like to like not be a vote against you on the jury. So it's like, and it's like especially like if you really think Christina's like that big of a fire threat, it's like, do you really want to risk it? Like, do you really want to risk like putting yourself in the fire? Anyway, Sage is getting really emotional right now in tribal. Anyway, we have Sage like doubting herself essentially, and Christina's like reassuring her. I'm watching because I'm from Portugal. Anyone knows who is favored to win and why? I'd say Savannah's like the favorite to win, like the people watching at least. Which, by the way, we have 41 people on stream right now. Like, hello, you all. Yeah, this is kind of an awkward scene right now with Sage and Christina. It'd be more impressive if Rosa to not use his idol and highlight how good his social game is. I never to use it outside of a threat. I've talked about this before, but I don't really see it that way. It's like I'm sure he'll spin. I'll try to spin it that way, but I think it's become clear that it's like people just don't care about Rizzo's idol. It's like they care. They probably care for like the first few rounds, but I think after like I think probably like after the split tribal, it's like I think they just kind of like stop caring about Rizzo's idol. Like they stop like trying to target Rizzo because it's like, oh, he's just gonna do this every round. So it's like we can just take out like other threats along the way. And I think they also like don't really see him as a threat, which I talked about before. I don't think Rizzo's that big of a jury threat on the season. And and I think if he loses like in a jury vote, I think his edit would like make sense. Like I think his edit is definitely like kind of in line with like runner up right edit where it's like he got like pretty strong personal content early on. But like we are like seeing like him being wrong. Like we've seen him being wrong. We've seen him like particularly like with Steven's advantage. Like we've seen him like not really like getting his way. And like I think he's also like kind of overestimating his ability as well. So it's like I think if Rizzo is a runner up, then I think his edit would make a lot of sense in that case. But it is now time for the vote. This can be pretty big here. What happens? We got Sage in the voting booth. We see her writing K, so she's voting for Christina. We've got Christina now voting for Sage. Yeah, so it's like they're not even targeting Rizzo at this point. Yeah, it's just kind of like a boring round. All right, we got a close up of Rizzo holding the idol. All right, so I guess we can just pull up the poll once again. Will Rizzo play his idol? All right, we have Rizzo standing up. Okay. All right, so he does play the idol here, meaning the majority got their way here. I was not one of them, though. I voted no, which is a bit tragic. I tried cooking a bit too much here with that one, but we now are getting to the vote count. First vote, Sage. Christina, one vote Sage, one vote Christina. Who they're going to vote for? Christina, two votes Christina. Looks like they sided with Christina here. Yep. I knew it. Well, I guess I didn't know it. Like, I did say before Tribal, but it's like before the episode. Like, I said in the jury scenario, I think I said in the power ranking, I thought Christina would be voted out 5. But then I think I got kind of cooked here, like with the actual finale here. But yeah, it's like, but yeah, Christina's voted out. Like, I should have stuck with my gut here. Because, like, yeah, my first instinct after this last episode was like Christina was going to be the boot here. And then Sage would be like the final juror. But then I saw the episode and I like saw like the fire stuff, and it was like you'd think they'd be setting that up. Though I guess on the other hand, it's like again under the world where Savannah wins, I guess that means now like she doesn't have to worry about that, like going to fire against Christina. It's like plus it is also good for plus I guess it's also good for Savannah's edit because it's like Savannah did want Christina out and she is shown getting her way here. Yeah, this was like announced yesterday. But anyway, we are getting Christina's final words here. All right, so it's now 8:58. We are now going on a 24-minute break. Yeah, so let me just turn it off. Break. So first I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm just gonna make a quick break here, and then after that we are going to we'll just chat for a bit. But I'll be right back. Oh, I should delete this. Um, that's convenient. That I guess that's also convenient because like Christina was like kind of sticking out here. Okay, we have our final four. I'll be right back. Whoops. All right. All right. Yeah. So, all right, it's 9 o'clock now. We are currently on a 22-minute delay here. But yeah, so I guess we can just chat now. Hoping I didn't get demonetized. Like, yeah, because like I took off my AirPods, took out my AirPods, and then went to the bathroom. I guess I didn't realize that I had my volume up on the phone, so like I'm not sure how much of that caught. Like, I don't think I played any songs. Like, it was just playing like ads and stuff. We should be fine. Yeah, we should be fine. So anyway, Sage really seeing why voting on Steven was a terrible decision in real time. Again, it wasn't. I think for Sage, it wasn't that bad because like you do need Sage. You need Steven out at some point. Yeah, probably would have been better to try to break up the trio anyway. Like, I think the bigger mistake was probably not taking out Savannah like when you could have at the final seven. Like, again, because like she talked about how she wanted Savannah out. Like obviously hindsight's 2020 because like you couldn't have foreseen Savannah going on this immunity run, but again, like I don't think like again you need Steven out at some point anyway. But it's obviously like would have been probably a bit better to like get him out after you targeted like this trio and stuff. Christina and Sage should have Christina Sage should have kept Steven. Not like it mattered. Um, it was $2,000 stimulus check in Savannah winning Survivor one night. Again, not really paying attention to the speech here. I mean, that's not really what the stream is. What is happening? So right now we are on a break, because there is a speech happening with our president right now. The president's making a speech right now. Not really watching it. Not really paying attention to it. Like I literally have my AirPods off right now. Have it on mute. Not really like doing that. Not really what I'm here for. I'll probably read about what he said later on, but baffled they voted out Christina over Sage. Again, I think if realistically, I think this is it's pretty marginal at the end of the day because like again, like it's like either or really. It's like again, it's pretty marginal. Again, and I do think that it's like if you really think Christina's that good at fire, then it's like yeah, again makes sense. But at her first, but man, I feel like I should have stuck to my guns there because it's like again, like before the episode, again, like literally like after the last episode, like my thought was, okay, Christina 5, Sage 4, but and I made the power ranking and the jury scenarios with that in mind, assuming like that Christina will be the first out because I think edit wise, I think Christina's edit is like more in line with like a final five boot. Sage feels like she has more set up to be like a final juror again because Sage like got more to do in the premiere. Like she had like a shallow content early on. I think Sage reminds me a lot of like Liz from 46. I think that comparison made me think that Sage would be like a final juror more so than Christina. Whereas I feel like Christina is like I feel like her content's like a bit more like shallow for more of it, like aside of her talking about her mom, obviously. But yeah, it's like I don't know, like in those last couple minutes, like I think I kind of just got tricked. So again, I guess I should have just stuck to. I think that, and also it's like the comments, like people are calling me crazy for thinking that they vote out Christina first when like that is literally what just happened. Christina's game is worse than Sage. I agree. I think I am probably gonna have Sage higher on the player ranking than Christina. Win equity. We'll see tomorrow. What again? I'm probably gonna wait for exit interviews before I talk about the final five. Like I want to know like their win equity a bit more. Um, so I'm gonna wait for that. But like I would assume like neither of them like had that much win equity. I mean, in my jury scenarios video, I talked about Christina's having like the least amount of win equity. And then I think Sage is like a step above her, but it's like not really that much. Chris and Sage should have tried to sell that Sophie would have the jury due to her story and likability. I mean, yeah, I mean, it didn't seem like they tried that much to flip the vote into Sophie B. Like, obviously, that's not ideal. Yeah, it is crazy that they didn't try to go for Sophie B in that spot. It's like, to be fair, it's like obviously they were trying to flip Sophie B last round, but obviously now in this round, it's like you can't really do that because it's like with Savannah having immunity and Rizzo having implicit immunity with his idol, it's like you would have to target Sophie B otherwise. And I think you could have tried to spin it as like, okay, Christina and Sage go to like Rizzo and Sophie B, being like, hey, Sophie B is threatened by you. She was going to target you. And maybe try to make that pitch, but it's like, yeah, it's like they didn't really go for that. So it's like kind of crazy there. Sage is better in challenges than Christina. I mean, again, that as well. It's like again, I think like the comments made sense for like why people would assume like Sage would inherently be the bigger target. But yeah, I mean, it's like obviously that's not how they saw it at least. Praying for 5K, pay off my credit card bills. We'll see. Sage is great. Bye bye, Sage. Rizzo and Sophie taking out Christina is idiotic. Rizzo is not a very good player. Um, again, like I do think at the end of the day, it's like probably like a marginal move because it's like if you are like playing to get to the end together, or even if you're gonna cut one of them, it's like again, I think me watching the show, I think Christina and Sage are pretty interchangeable. It's like yeah, you could like debate like whether like one's better at immunity, one better at challenges, or better at fire, or like maybe slightly different jury perception, but it's like really it's like they're not that different. And it's like at that point it's like it just doesn't matter that much. So it's like I don't think I can really like take that much issue with it. Sage is number one on my player ranking. That's a bold statement. Is Steven the best player from the non-trio of Rizzo, Savannah, and Sophie? Probably the best overall player. I mean, I think he's probably the best. Like, I think he's probably the best overall player. Like, and I think like he had probably like the most amount of control during like his run. Though to be fair, he was on the outs during a lot of the merge. Like, he was like kind of seen as like the leader of his side of things. Though with that said, he didn't really have control at all opportunities. But he also probably had the most win equity. So it's like, I just, I again, we'll see when we get to the player ranking. I need to like finalize like the placements and stuff. Christina being Savannah Final Four in is in Rizzo and Sophie's best interest. Yeah, probably. I mean, I think realistically, them going to the end together is not great. Um, but obviously, they just voted out Christina, so at this point, it'd probably be Sage that they're gonna have to bank on. Surprised that Rizzo played the idol. I know it's like, imagine if what it didn't expire at 6. What a concept. Savannah has to be top 3. New era if she wins. D1, Kyle 2. I don't know. I think my biggest issue with Savannah was just how much she was targeted in the game. And I think again, I don't think she was like entirely reliant on immunities, but it's like I feel like there are definitely rounds where it's like she would have been targeted had she not won immunity. Also, there is a fire truck driving past my house right now. I can hear the sirens. I don't know how much you guys can hear it. Um, yeah, I think that's my biggest issue with Savannah. It's like, yeah, it's like she was like in like she had like a very solid alliance early on. She had like a solid alliance. She was in a good spot on original Uli. After the swap, she also seemed to be in the majority. Like she was in the majority to take out Jason and well Matt and then Jason. But even then, it's like she talked about wanting to target Jason first, and like kind of didn't get her way there. But obviously gets Jason out the second tribal they go to. Second swap, again was just kind of fine. Like they vote out Shannon, right? I mean, they were on the tribe, right? Yeah, they were on the tribe with no. Sec no Sage Jawan. They were the Ulis on Shannon's second swap tribe. So again, second swap tribe. Again, she seemed pretty safe there. Who was she? Who was she with on second Uli or the second swap? Well, it's probably easier if I use my phone. I don't want to go on the wiki and like blow up. Yeah, the fandom website's like super annoying. I just need to remind myself who was on Savannah's second swap tribe. It was oh my god, just ads up the wazoo. Okay, it was MC Rizzo and so yeah. Okay, she was in the majority in the second swap tribe. She was fine there. Never go to tribal. Had an easy target. Never go to tribal. Though to be though honestly, it's like MC had her idol, so it's like that could have shaken things up. They actually won, so it's like actually that's kind of a wonky spot. Then we get to the merge where it's like she gets blindsided at the merge round where Nate gets taken out. She's on the outs there. Is then in a pretty bad spot on the split tribal where it seems like she would have been in a ton of danger had had that tribal happened, or they gone the tribal, but she wins immunity, so she kind of need immunity there. That's not great. And even then, like she also gets benefited by the twist, where she goes to the other camp, and that somewhat influences that group into voting against MC. And obviously, MC going out is beneficial for Savannah, as MC was targeting her. MC was someone who was a pretty key number for the Hina side of things. So I think she kind of gets benefited by that. And then after that, like, yeah, she's in the majority from that point on. Like, she does like vote out like Alex. She votes out Jawan. Like again, she's there, but like again, like she's still like kind of being targeted at points where it's like there's just so many points where people like on the Hina side are talking about like, oh, we want Savannah out, and then she wins immunity, and then she's like, oh, couldn't get her out there. So I think that kind of makes it difficult for me to have like Savannah like super high on my winner ranking. It's like it's kind of hard there, and it's like again like we'll have to see like what her win equity is as well as like again because like I talked about this in the video as well as like I don't know if this jury like loves her either. Where it's like again like you have people like Christina, you have people like Sage, you have even MC like they don't seem to be that close to Savannah on a personal level. Like we saw like MC like talking very negatively about Savannah in her exit interview. And yes, while that was in the context of her like watching like MC digging for the idol, like being annoyed through that, like I think again that wasn't like super glowing. Christina like outright says on the show that she doesn't like Savannah that much. Sage also like talks about she refers to Savannah as like this mean girl, and then you have Jawan. Like again, I don't know like how much of again like Jawan made it seem like he like didn't like know the full extent of Savannah's like annoying to him on the island, and it wasn't until like he watched a show that he saw like how much she was annoyed by him, but again like I don't know like I don't know about that relationship like again like there's like so many people that like, talk about Savannah as like again like they don't really like talk about like being like that close to Savannah, and I feel like if she wins the jury vote it'll be a case where it's like
okay, like I'm not the closest to you, but I respect your game. Like, I think that's like the thing. It's like they respect Savannah, but they don't necessarily like see her as like someone who's like managing themselves that well, like on a personal level. Like that's the vibe I get, like from watching the show and like reading some of these interviews here. So I think that's another thing to consider when like assessing her. So it's like I think when we put all those things together, it's like obviously like D is like number one, the winner ranking for the new era. I think that's pretty clear. Then beyond that, it's like you have like I think Kyle's like probably above her. Like Kyle was like never in that much danger during a lot of the game. I don't think. Well, aside from like the swap, like where like he was like targeted there, but like that's like an unlucky swap anyway. And I think even then, like you can see like how he like maneuvered around that well, like with like Camilla, like kind of like doing that. So I think that's something. And is Jam Jam above her too? Like I mean, again, like I think we'll have to see like win equity stuff like after the season, like in terms of like that. But it's like I think even taking, I think even the Savannah was like the biggest Shuri threat of like I think even the Savannah like goes into this final three of Savannah and Rizzo and Sophie B like thinking she is gonna beat them. You have to think it's like you have to think from Savannah's perspective. Like you have to think it's like I probably would have an easier win against Christina and Sage than Rizzo and Sophie B. I feel like Rizzo is someone who played a mostly similar game to me. I think it'd be hard for me to like separate my game from his. Even Sophie B, it's like Sophie B can like pull together this underdog story, talking about how she was from Kelly, how she had a lot of adversity in the game, like she's an underdog. Like, like, I can't imagine Savannah like thinks she's going into like this final three. Like, I can't imagine she's like imagining this as like her ideal final three for like winning the game. I think she probably recognizes that there are people who are easier beats than her. Like, I think she would imagine that like Jawan would probably be like an easier beat. Like, she probably imagines that Sage would be an easier beat or Christina even. Like I can't imagine like she's going to this final three expecting like okay, these are the people I have the best shot at winning against. So it's like I think even then like you can like question her judgment in terms of who she's like deciding to go to the end against. So I don't know. I think there are like issues to be had with Savannah's game, and I will be talking about those in my player ranking when it comes around to it, and also all the other. I do have videos planned for 50, so be on the lookout for that. But I will probably be bringing those up there as well. Anyway, I just talked for a while. When have idols ever expired to Final Six? I believe like in the earlier, like I think in some of like the earlier iterations of the idol, like I think from like I think like wasn't it like the China like I think I think there were like some seasons like around like the Samoa and Token Jeans era where the idol expired at 6, right? Like, am I remembering that right? Like, I think there were a few seasons where the idol does expire at 6, but like for the most part, like it's good for at least Final Five, and obviously, and then you have like the seasons with the God Idol, Panama and Cook Islands where it was good until Final Four. So it's like, and it's like even then, like the seasons where there has never been like none of the recent seasons have had them expire at 6. So it's like, yeah, it's like it would have been mind blowing if anyone actually believed this lie. Anyway, Trump is still talking, and I have it on mute still. Do you think Survivor 50 do a final two? I don't think they can do a final two, right? Because it's like they're staking with 26 days, and they're also doing the they're sticking with they're doing 24 people in 26 days. So it's like just logistically, it'll be very difficult for them to do a final two because it's like you're already like having to do like tons of elimination. So it's like it'll be across not a lot of days. So it's like I think logistically it'd be very hard for them to do a final two. Yeah, there's a speech happening right now. Has been a 3. Brings our gods, spots comes back. Oh boy. Trying to like I'd have Sophie and Sage in the top two of the player ranking. I don't know about that. Like, I still think I still think I probably will have Savannah again, assuming Savannah wins. I think I still probably will have her at number one in the player ranking. But yeah, I mean, certainly not Sage. I don't think so. Juwan says the twist prevented him from going after Rizzo. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about there. Can't have her number one. Also, Savannah makes so many questionable decisions. Checking for the winner announced on Wikipedia. I don't think they've announced. I don't, again, like there's nowhere that's aired the thing yet. Who deserves it more than Savannah? She just tied the record. Who deserves it? The person that wins deserves it. Like I don't like. Yeah, it's like I don't really like vibe with like this whole deserve. Like this whole deserving thing is like kind of like not really like something I talk about that much. This segment shows Rizzo's lack of influence in the game, but a decision going through Christina's and Sophie. Yeah, not great. Looks like the speech just wrapped up. I mean, we're cutting now to the anchor. I think Dana Bush is her name. I don't know. But it looks like the speech just wrapped up. So it's like we are again like the again like in the thing. It's like supposed to go until 9:22, but it's like I don't know how much punditry they're doing here. But yeah, the speech just wrapped up, and now they're just like they're just doing like some like post like speech stuff here. I don't know how much time this is gonna take, but we should be getting back to the show very shortly. But they gotta stop yapping. Gabon, Samoa, Heroes vs Villains. Yeah, they all expired. Yeah, I knew there were a couple seasons where the idol expired at 6. So it's like again, it's not like it never happened, but it's like again, it's like very few seasons have had it expire at 6. Okay. Looks like we're wrapping up here. Sage 1, Sophie 2, Savannah 3, Rizzo 4, Steven 5, Sophie S6, Swan 7, MC 8, Christina 9. Okay. Anyway, looks like we are getting back to the show. We're going to commercial at least. Um, yeah, we're at commercial. We're getting the Walmart commercial with Walter Goggins uh, from White Lotus. So they're trying to do some 50 promo with that. But yeah, we are currently at commercial break here. Currently commercial. So once we get back from commercial, we are getting back to the show here. So thank God. Um, Rizzo deserves it. If he wins, he deserves it. And without the fire making challenge, a trio votes at Sage. Yeah. I think if this were just a straight up vote, they just vote out Sage, unless Sage won immunity. To which I assume they put out Savannah here. We'll have to see exit interviews, but it never expired at 6. Jeff says that no, like I know there were seasons where it expired at 6. Like, yeah, it's like from like the Samoa, it's like the late teens, early 20s, like in the show. You're still commercial right now. We're getting the LL Bean commercial. Uh, what's happening? So we were just on a break for a presidential speech that I didn't really listen to, We are currently on commercial break. Um, Again, so the last thing that happened was the Final Five Tribal. Christina was voted out in a 4-1 vote. When we get back in commercial, we are going to pick up immediately after that tribal. So again, if you watch the final, if you followed the Final Five Tribal, you haven't missed anything. Is Final Four forced fire making? Only other season I watched was the first. Oh boy, what a gap. Yes. So the format of, so I guess the modern format of the finale is the final four round is a forced fire making challenge where the winner of the immunity challenge picks one person to save, and the two people they do not save go into a fire making challenge. Winner of that advances to final three. Loser is the final four boot. So that's what we will be getting here very shortly. Is it on yet? It's about to be on. And we are back. And we're jumping straight into the final immunity challenge. The final immunity challenge seems to be a balance beam and a puzzle at the end. No, a table maze at least. Come on in. All right. Yeah, don't worry. We are finally back. We are getting no post tribal scene, just getting straight into the immunity challenge here. Let's pull up the poll results yet again. So we have Savannah being a clear favorite to win final immunity here, with just a few people voting for Rizzo and Sophie B. But it all comes down to this. A lot of stakes here where Savannah won Final Five immunity. That was her fourth immunity win. She tied the female immunity record. If she wins today this immunity challenge, she will break the female immunity record with 5, tying the overall record, breaking the female record of 4. Yeah, Sophie be talking right now. All right. Okay, so Jess is driving the challenge. So we're starting off in the water. Again, very shallow in the water. Gonna go at the shore. You have to cross a balance beam. You have to use tongs to pick up like a ball. It's like a ball in a cage, and you're using tongs to pick up the ball to lift it to a hole in the top of the cage to like let it out, and then you're gonna use the ball to complete a tail maze. All right, so that's the challenge. Hopefully that makes sense. Gonna do some more commentating here. Pretty exciting stuff. Okay. Okay, we are about to get into the challenge. All right, here we go. Obviously, we had to swim out into the water first or jump out the water here. Not immediate lead here. Rizzo seems to take the early lead here, being the first to race out of the water here. Now they got to dig through a sand pit. It's sort of what we've seen before. Like it's a log very low to the ground, but a bunch of sand. You got to dig through the sand, dig a big enough hole so that you can crawl underneath the log here. Everyone's digging so far. Again, not an apparent lead at this point. Looks like Sophie B. Oh, actually, no, that they collect sandbags as well. Sophie B grabs a sandbag here, takes an early lead here. We have Savannah now far behind. So Sage also collects one. Savannah is the first to crawl herself beyond her log. Savannah out to an early lead here. She is on the balance beam now, having to pick up her tongs here. I guess Jeff's calling them handles, but they're essentially tongs. Uh, or I guess ladles. Rizzo and Sage are moving forward. Sophie B is in last place here, where she is just struggling to get through this log piece. Now everyone is now on the balance beam here. Savannah off to a pretty early lead here, just tying up pieces along the way here. Sage is not too far behind. Rizzo's also very much in it. Sophie B is like kind of out of it right now. Sophie B finally claws her way past the logs here, getting to the balance beam herself, though Savannah is still holding onto that lead here, not really showing any signs of slowing down. She is now past the balance beam here. She's now moving on to the cage component, where she now has to use these tongs in order to retrieve a ball and really maneuver it up and out of the cage here through a narrow hole. Rizzo in second place. He's now past the balance beam. He's now working on the cage piece, working through those tongs here. A lot of focus on him right now. Looks like it's really struggling. Like, again, like it's very difficult to like really grab this. Sage not far behind in third place. Sophie B not too far behind. She's still on the balance beam. We have focus now on Savannah and Rizzo working on that. Rizzo dropping the ball again. Again, this is just very hard because like each of these tongs like have very flat surfaces, making it very difficult to really get a grip on this thing. You're really gonna have to like very carefully maneuver away here. It seems like Rizzo making another interesting run here, like getting pretty close to the top here. Savannah moving a lot more methodically. And the thing that makes this challenge difficult is that you not only had to like balance the ball, but you had to like constantly move the tongs in and out of like the little like bars in between the cage here. Like again, it's a very delicate balancing act here. But Rizzo seems to have taken the lead here. He has gotten his ball out of his cage. He is now the first to advance to the final stage of the challenge here. Savannah not too far behind. She is towards the top. The problem is that she is close to the edge of the cage right now. She needs to maneuver the ball to the center of it where the hole is so that she can like get the ball out of the cage here. Rizzo now working, assembling the tail maze. It's a puzzle they have to put together to get to it. Now we have Sage not too far behind it. Sage is now in second place here. She got her ball out of the cage. She is now moving into the final tail maze herself. And Savannah is now not too far behind. She is the third to get out of the cage. Now she can work on the tail maze. So Sophie B is now in last place here. Only one to still be working on the cage component here. Rizzo has a bit of lead right now in terms of getting the tail maze together, but it is really anyone's challenge really here. Is really anyone's challenge in terms of the tail maze here. Sophie B, like, really just out of it here. Not really making much progress with the cage piece of it, but now the focus is on Rizzo, Savannah, and Sage here. We see Savannah and Sage like putting together the tail maze here. Rizzo has lost a ton of ground here on the tail maze, like just not really knowing like how to put the pieces together here. Really, he has lost a lot of ground, and at this point it is really anyone's contest here between him, Savannah, and Sage here. Sophie B still out of it, still working on the cage component here. A lot of focus on Sophie B here, just as she's just struggling. Sophie B takes another drop here, has to start over, really losing ton of ground here. And just, again, just more of this downfall for Sophie B here. Just not a great look, all things considered. But Sophie B is not giving up here. She's just taking big swings at this point. We have Savannah here working on the tail maze once again here. Really, again, no one seems to have like a super obvious lead right now. We have Rizzo here, again, just struggling again. Sage is also not making a ton of ground here, but Savannah seems to be making some progress here. We'll have to see more in a moment here. Sophie B still has not figured out that getting the ball out of the cage here. It's still not apparent who's in the lead here. Again, they're just focusing on Sophie B again here. It seems like she could be about to like get it out here. A lot of focus on Sophie B, like in her trying to get this ball out of the cage here. Seems like she's pretty close, and Sophie B has now gotten her ball out of the cage. Now everyone is working on the table maze puzzle piece. And Savannah is the first to complete the tail maze puzzle here. She can now actually maneuver the ball through the tail maze. She has to land 2 balls in the cage here, one being the one that she retrieved out of the cage, the other being in a bag that she collected earlier in the challenge here. Savannah is the only person who has completed the tail maze, but Sophie B has made up a ton of ground here, just quickly working through the table maze here. It seems like she's just a couple of steps away from being able to work on the maze herself here, though it seems like she is struggling a bit. No, she's just swapping out some pieces here. Rizzo's now copying Sophie B, trying to figure out the maze here. Sophie B has figured out the maze puzzle. She completed the puzzle. Now she can actually work on the maze and getting the balls through it. Sophie B has quickly gotten back into this challenge here. And now it is Savannah and Sophie B working on the maze here, getting the balls into place here. Really down to them at this point. Whereas Sage and Rizzo are still working on the puzzle portion of it. So this is the same puzzle that Eva struggled with in episode 548. Though obviously in that challenge, that was the spots where you had to get one each into that puzzle. Whereas here, you had to get two in there. Again, it's a tail maze where it's zigzags. And then you have to get humps into place here. But Sophie B being the first to land a ball into her hole here. Sophie B is now all of a sudden the lead here. Savannah dropping the ball once again. Savannah's kind of struggling on the tail maze here. Sophie B, though, is making work here. Sage has now completed the puzzle here. Rizzo is now out of it. He has no idea how to put all these pieces together here. But Sophie B just making very quick progress here. She has the second ball here. Just needs one ball in to win the challenge here. Seems like she's doing a lot of great work here. She is making good progress on the maze here. A lot of focus on her as well, as you would expect here for someone to be pretty close to winning. And she is very close to getting it in there. Can she do it? And she does. And with that, Sophie B has won final immunity, guaranteeing her spot in the final three. Savannah will not break the record and will instead join the likes of Kelly Wigglesworth, Jenna Maraska, Kin Spradlin, Rachel, Chrissy in tying the record. She will not break the record. Sophie B, pretty excited to have won this challenge here. And I do not have chat open at all. All right. Savannah saved by forced fire making. So yeah, I mean, I think the thought is if you're Sophie B, it's like you have to take a shot at like one of Savannah or Rizzo at this point. Like, I mean, obviously you have to put one of them in the fire, right? You have to put one of them in the fire. The question is, who do you, again, like, do you put yourself in the fire, or do you have some faith in Sage to pull out a win? Because I think the assumption would be that Rizzo's worse at fire, so it's like you're obviously gonna have to bank on Sage being Rizzo in a fire making challenge if you want one of them out by the end of it. But obviously Savannah's also the bigger threat, so it's like you, or at least I think she's a bigger threat. So it's like you need to think about getting her out in some way. How confident do you think Sage is at beating Savannah fire making? That's a question. I do think putting Savannah and Rizzo in the fire is a mistake. I do think Savannah would clearly win that. But obviously, it's like at the same time, it's like, again, you want to at least try to get Sage into the final three with you. Savannah can't be robbed like Morgan Pope. Is Morgan? I don't know. Morgan's not really robbed per se. Like I don't think she is. I know we're on a break right now. Best play here is absolutely Sam Rizzo and Savannah in the fire. I don't think there should be debate. Yeah, again, you would think that would be the decision. Will she do it though? That is the question. I mean, she did talk about how she wants to take out Savannah here. The question is, does she think Rizzo will beat Savannah in fire? Sophie is smart. She puts Savannah and Sage in fire making. We hope Savannah goes home. Yeah, so I think really it's like the thought is okay, if I need to target one person, it probably would be Savannah, right? Because I think Savannah would be seen as the biggest threat, and you need to at least make it seem to the jury like you are trying to take her out. But obviously, the question is, who do you think is better at fire, like compared to them? Obviously, Rizzo could be a fire god. Who knows? Again, I think that's part of the issue. It's like I don't think we have like mean, do we really have a great sense of like who's good at fire among this final four? Because we saw in the late, because we saw during the previous segment that like apparently Christina was good at fire. At least that's what they were trying to tell us, that Christina's good at fire. But like of this four, who is the best? Who's the like who's good at fire? Essentially, are they all like around the same level? Like I think it's hard to say. Who won? Sophie B. Sophie B won fall immunity. Sophie B will be the one deciding who is going into fire. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's really like it's kind of hard to gauge like who's good at fire. It also, is this what Jeff means by like unpredictable? Also, I think we also need to think about like unpredictable ending. Like, okay, so Jeff said that this is supposed to be an unpredictable end game. I don't think Christina going out at 5 is an unpredictable outcome by any means. I mean, I'm sure some people would have expected it, but it's like I think it definitely was one of Christina or Sage. I don't think there was like much of like a fight happening in this regard. Really, like the main intrigue was like what the majority alliance was going to decide on between like two like seemingly interchangeable options, at least in my opinion. So it's like now it's like, okay, if we are thinking about like what does Chef mean by unpredictable endgame? Like, because like endgame, like I don't think he means final tribal, right? Like I don't think he means like the final tribal is going to be like an unpredictable outcome. We are back now from commercial, so it's like, could it be like Sophie B puts herself into fire and then like she loses? Is that is that something we could be setting up here? I don't know. All right, we have Sophie talking. Okay, so we have Sophie telling them she's just gonna. So Sophie's like, I'm not gonna make a decision, which and questionable. I don't know who wins 49. I think it's still pretty clear. I think I still feel pretty confident on the outcome. Yeah, it's not great that she's not like getting leverage at anyone or yeah, we have Savannah like Savannah's like kind of annoyed. Savannah wants Rizzo and Sage and Fire. All right, we have Savannah feeling like Sophie's about to turn on her. All right, we have all right, we have Savannah. We have a lot of focus on Savannah, like making fire. She talks about how she's not good at making fire, which all right, we have her quickly making fire here. Yeah, they're propping up Savannah as like this underdog here, which makes me think we could be getting Savannah versus Sage here. Next we have Sage. She's practicing fire. Doesn't seem like she's very good at it. Yeah, I just don't think this is a good look. Like I think like the jury is not gonna like I don't think the jury's gonna like this. Like Sophie B like not like deciding or like not allowing them to plead their case. Is this what Jeff means by unpredictable endgame? Like they're just not gonna reveal who Sophie B's putting in? Is this what Jeff means by unpredictable? This is kind of lame, I think. This season was really a back and forth with Savannah and Sophie by who wins. I mean, I guess. Like, I feel like it would have been more interesting if Savannah and Sophie B were like on opposite sides, and like it made it seem like it was like the two front runners edgically were like on opposite sides, and like they were it was like this actual war. But I think the fact that they were both like working together for so much of the game, like it just made the season feel more predictable. Like we know that their alliance is gonna like win out somehow. It's like it's just not as interesting, I think. All right, we have Rizzo now trying to make a move here. He's gonna try to throw himself under the bus. I assume you mean knowing which people are on 50. I mean, I think that's kind of fair. I feel like no, like when you know like who's on 50, like I think it definitely like takes a little something out of it. Okay, we're now just gonna go straight to tribal here. Nothing has happened yet. Like Sophie B is like kind of like wavering on her decision here. Like she's not like revealing like what she wants to do. Like they're kind of like she's kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna decide a tribal essentially. So anyway, we're not commercial break. What is it? Okay, what is this? Is this the Rachel Adams thing you were talking about earlier? This is a weird commercial. Sam Raimi. What is this movie? Okay, send help. I've not heard this movie. Like, send help movie. Okay, this is the Rachel McAdams thing. Yeah, this is what you mentioned at the beginning of stream. Uh, yeah, I have not heard of this. Yeah, looks pretty cool. I don't know. I'm probably not gonna watch it, but it's cool.
Rizzo is fire. His pants are on fire. So stressed because I can't afford to lose my draft again. I already lost with Joe and Morgan. Can't lose again with Savannah. Oh, wow. Prediction on who goes at fire. Uh, Probably Savannah and Sage. I think that's probably what we're getting set up to. Prediction is Savannah versus Sage. Sage loses. Trez Leches FTC. Anyway, gonna get it tribal now. We'll find out who goes into fire, and then we'll get another commercial break. Getting another thing for 50. Still at commercial. Also, let's look at the poll again. So remember, the most voted outcome was Christina versus Sophie B. Literally the final five boot and the person who won final immunity. Big rip. Let's see the other votes here. Christina Rizzo was the next most popular, also big rip. Savannah, Christina, big rip. No one, no, we have one vote for Sage versus Savannah. That person is RG Red. Yeah, so RG Red seems like the only person that could get a point here. Yeah, because Rizzo Sage didn't get any votes. Rizzo Savannah didn't get any votes. Yeah. Savannah being so oblivious about a final three alliance is an indictment of her game. Like, what do you mean by oblivious though? Like, do you mean like her just like sticking by this alliance? Like her like wanting to go to the end with this alliance? Or do you mean like her like not expecting Sophie B to like want to flip on her at four? Fans said it was too strong for her to just lose farm making, so I'm kind of confident in her winning fire. I agree. But anyway, we are now getting to the actual tribal itself. How exciting. They voted out Christina because the top four all suck at fire. Seems like it. I mean, yeah, I mean, no one seems that great at fire at this final four. And if Christina is as good as the show claims that they have her be, then it's like, yeah, it seems like that's the case that they just voted her out because she was the best. Anyway, at the tribal now. Right now, everyone is just pleading their case. Oh, put me in the fire. What's happening? Tribal. Yeah, we don't know who's in fire yet.
Yeah, it sure is convenient that Chrissy's on 50 because Jeff is like, yeah, because Jeff is like not bringing up Chrissy and her fire decision. And now he's bringing up Devins, who's also on 50. Man, Jeff is like really thinking about 50 right now. Like, it seems like Jeff already made up his mind about 50. I mean, to be fair, the cast was mostly finalized, right? So it's like he's just bringing up Chrissy and Devins. All right, this is the big decision here. All right, time for her to make her decision. All right, interesting decision here. So Sophie has decided to save Sage, meaning Rizzo and Savannah are going in the fire, baby. Nope. Jaws on the floor right now. I should probably put them on the. I should probably do this. So Sophie B, Rizzo. And then I'll put Rizzo and Savannah on this side. That makes sense. All right. Sage is the winner of 50. Sage is not on 50. All right, probably going to break in a moment. Here we go again since 45-46. I mean, is this really like 45-46? I mean, because 45, I mean, you had like Katora and you had Katura and Jake and Fire. I mean, two of the lesser jury threats. Then 46, you had Kendra and Liz and Fire. Again, Kendra who won the season. Liz is again lesser jury threat as well. So it's like I don't know if I compare it to that. Like no one thought Sage made to the final three. Yeah, I mean I think I probably would have had Sage pegged as like a final juror, but I guess she's a runner up because I don't think she has a winning edit. And I don't think Sophie talked about Sage as like someone who's likely to win. So yeah, but very interesting stuff here. So yeah, so in case you're just joining us, Sophie B won final immunity. She made the decision to put Rizzo and Savannah into fire, taking Sage to final three with her. Sage is setting up an Austin edit. I think Sophie has doesn't. I feel like Sophie has the Austin edit, like doesn't she? I don't think Sage has the Austin edit. Sophie B wins if Savannah loses the game. I assume. Again, I'm assuming that's the case. Right now we're commercial break. We got the Walter Goggins commercial again. So again, gotta plug another 50 player again. Who's in fire making? I just said it. Rizzo, Sophie B. Rizzo, Savannah. I mean, I just said it. 49 finale. There is possibility that we're going to have a same gender final three. First final three since Survivor brings Braun 2. That happened earlier this year. Yeah, that's possible. I mean, we could get it all female final three. Well, I think Sophie, Sage, Rizzo, final three will be close. There's definitely a couple of votes I see going to Sage. Juwan, for example. Yeah. Also, this is interesting for my jury scenarios. Because in the jury scenarios video, I said uh, Rizzo, Savannah, Sophie B be the final. That was my number one scenario. So right now, my number one scenario can't happen. Number two can happen. That was Sage, Sophie v Savannah. We are back now from commercial, by the way. But anyway. Okay. I'm expecting Savannah to win this, but we'll see what happens. Okay, we are now underway here. Okay, both of them are moving pretty slowly to start. Again, both of them are just kind of scratching their flint right now. Not really much happening, but Savannah seems to be getting sparks, but nothing substantial yet. Savannah's the first to get a flame here. She's nursing a flame. Rizzo is still moving pretty slowly here. Yeah, Savannah making some progress, but looks like it's died. We're back to no flames here, but Rizzo now gets a flame. Looks like he's trying to nurture it. Looks like, yeah, I think it looks like it went out. Yeah, it just died. Died immediately. Yep, now they're just going back at it. Okay, we have Nate saying, get it, Rizzo. That's interesting to know. And he did not get it. It just died again. Savannah also having nothing. We have Savannah now getting in a flame again. Decent one, at least. Now she's starting to build her base here. Yeah, she just gotta, like, really nurture it. Yeah, it's a very tiny flame right now. Rizzo having nothing. Savannah's building something. Still not too big. Yeah, Savannah's just building more. Rizzo has a very tiny flame, but seems like he's gotten something now. Look, he's able to build something. But Savannah is still in the lead here. Rizzo's now adding sticks. Savannah is really building her flame at this point. It seems to be getting close to the rope. It's touching the rope. But it's unclear whether she'll be able to burn it or not. Yeah, Rizzo has a small flame, but he's still not out of it. Yeah, Savannah is getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, Rizzo's just smothering the flame with like he just stacked like a whole bunch of sticks when the he just stacked a whole bunch of sticks and it's just smothered and it looks like it's completely out. Savannah though seems to have all the momentum right now, but yeah, it's like Savannah's like again, it's like big, but it's like it's not really like touching the flame yet. Yeah, Savannah's got a pretty big flame here. Seems like she's getting close though. And there we go. That was easy. And just like that, Savannah won the fire making challenge, meaning Rizzo is the final juror. Bye bye. Bye bye. Very interesting. So we got an all woman final three, baby. So let's see. This was my number 2 rank scenario, right? Sage, Savannah, Sophie B. So just a reminder. So this is my forecast for the final 3 here. So I have Savannah winning. I have Savannah getting 6 lock jury votes. Sage probably getting a sympathy vote, and Christina kind of being a swing vote here. This is. I'll probably point this up. I'll probably point this out again as we get closer. But this is the projection I've made in the jury scenarios video for this final 3. So yeah, not too bad. Second most likely scenario. Again, mostly got it right. Yeah, we'll probably return to this later on. Didn't have chat open the whole time, so you should change your title from break to fire making. I literally just made these like 5 minutes before stream started, so I didn't really. Oh yeah, I should probably switch to tribal. Whoops. Yeah, I guess I could just have a tribal. So anyway, Rizzo's giving his spiel right now. Welcome Kaz to the server, Kenny to the server, JB to the server. Just checking the servers. Oh my god, he's gonna have Jeff Palmer's God. Okay. Anyone other than Savannah should win. Well, Savannah could still win. Which final 3 is better for Survivor this year? Savannah, Sage, Sophie, or Miles, Kaylin, AJ? Oh, that's probably like a better final 3 than uh, Savannah, Sage, Sophie B. From a gameplay perspective. It's probably better because like I think Miles played a pretty bad game. AJ's pretty good. Kaylin's good. Again, I think Miles kind of dragged it down though. Juwan, Steven, Christina vote for Sage. Alex MC vote for Sophie. Nate, Sophie S. Rizzo vote for Savannah. I know we're getting Rizzo's final words here. Yeah, maybe. The season needed an auction. I assume we're getting one for 50, right? I think that's what they're saving it for because they only want to do one per cycle. But we are a commercial right now. All right, so how about this unpredictable endgame, right? It's so unpredictable. This we got our final three here. We got uh probably we got Sophie B versus Sage versus Savannah. Again, I've already forecasted this scenario in my jury scenarios video. Does anything change here? I don't think anything changes here, right? I mean, does Christina vote for Savannah now? Think so. Does Jawan throw a sympathy vote onto Sage? Maybe. Like I do think at this point Sophie B probably gets 0 votes. I don't know. Does she get 0? I don't know. I think Rizzo for sure votes for Savannah. I think the problem with Sophie B is like I think her game is just I think like she'll despite like the underdog story, I think people will just see her game as being too similar to Savannah's, like which I don't think is entirely fair. Like I think like straight up, I think I probably would vote for Sophie B. Like if I were on the jury, I think I would vote for Sophie B personally, but I don't think the jury like is that impressed by Sophie B. I think they see her as someone who took too long to flip. I think they see her as someone who in a different world could have gotten out both Savannah and Rizzo, but due to her waiting too long to flip, she ended up in a situation where she had to get to the end with one of them. So I think that will harm her. I still think the knowledge is power play. Again, we can debate the merits of that move, but I think it's probably net negative from a perception standpoint. And again, I think just looking at the jury, like who votes for Sophie B? Like I think you could sort of debate Alex, but I think Alex would probably be inclined to vote for Savannah. Does Christina vote for Sophie B? I don't know if she does. I think she sees her as someone who took too long to flip, someone who didn't really give her a chance, essentially. Does MC vote for Sophie B? I don't think so. I mean, MC didn't seem that high on Sophie B. So it's like, what votes are there for Sophie B? I think for Sage, you can at least see the votes. Like, I think she can definitely get Jawan's vote as like a sympathy vote. I think beyond that, it's like it's kind of hard to like see who votes for Sage, but like at least I can see it for Sage. Like, who votes for Sophie B though? I think that is a very tough question. I think with Savannah, like there are definitely locked votes there. I think she definitely gets Rizzo's vote. Obviously, they were close the entire game. She definitely gets Nate's vote too. I think Sophie S is very likely to vote for her. I think Alex seems likely to vote for her. Like, respect her a lot. Even Steven. Like, I think there are just tons of locked votes for Savannah, I think. At least, again, from the outside looking in. Obviously, Final Tribal could play a factor into things. There could also be things that we just didn't really get to see on the show that may affect things. How is Final Tribal going to play out? It's going to be a close vote. I don't know. Again, maybe, but it's like again, like I think it's just hard to see the locked votes for Sophie S or Sage. Didn't Sophie get caught cheating before the game started? I think that's been debunked. I think that's just like a rumor. Um Sage won't even get a vote. Savannah clearly won. She didn't really stand anyone. stand anyone. Sophie's game felt sloppy. Is hot take. Go Sophie. A lot of people hate Savannah on the jury, so I don't know. But yeah, probably likely. Anyway, we are back from commercial. Savannah gets the first confessional. Savannah's too intense for me. I need a chill 49 winner. I mean, do you think Sage is a chill winner? Do you think Sage would be a chill winner? All right, well, at least Sage knows her history. It's been 20 seasons. Would Savannah be like bottom 20 of winners or around top 20? Probably closer. Again, I need to think about it. I think she's probably like middle of the pack. At least that's my initial thought. Like middle of the pack. Because I think there are pros to her game. And I don't think she was like blatantly saved by Twist, but it's I also think again, I don't think her game is like the best in the world either. Anyway, we're getting to the jury segment thing. We have Sage being focused on first. That was a really close up shot of Steven. All right, they're talking about Nate. All right, Nate is propping up Savannah right now. Yeah, Nate seems pretty high on Savannah. Now we're talking about MC. All right, MC said don't play nice. I'm guessing that's gonna. I'm guessing that's gonna play into like Savannah or Sage. Doesn't seem like she. Doesn't sound like Sophie B. Now they're talking about Alex. All right, Alex is propping up Sophie B. Talking about their time on Kelly. All right, Alex did seem kind of high on Sophie B. Right now they're talking about Jawan. Yep. Now Jawan's propping up Sage. Not unexpected. Now talking about Sophie S. All right. It looks like Sophie S is propping up Savannah here. Now her on Steven. They're saying Steven was going to win. All right. Steven's talking about Sophie S. I'll be Sophie B. All right. Christina. Okay. Christina talking about Sage. Says she. Okay. She's saying that Sage needs to own her game and not be emotional. Okay. And then we got Rizzo. Maybe. All right, he didn't really state anyone. He says they just need to fight. All right, so let's see. So they had two people. Again, they wanted to keep it balanced, probably. So let's see. You have Sage. Yep. Yep. So Sage is like, I need to like articulate my strategy. So let's see. So you had Jawan and Steven talking about Sage. You had Nate and Sophie S talking about Savannah. And then you had Jawan and Christina talking about Sage. Oh my god, what am I doing? Alex and Steven talking about Sophie B. I misspoke. Alex and Steven talked about Sophie B. Jawan and Christina talked about Sage. Nate and Sophie S talked about Savannah, and then MC and Rizzo didn't really name anyone. Though I think like MC is like I think MC's like leaning towards respecting Savannah. I think MC and Rizzo lean Savannah in this case. Now we have Jawan talking about wanting mayhem. We're now getting to tribal here. Sophie saying this is no popularity contest. Rizzo saying he's not here to do charity's work. He's here to award the $1,000,000. Needs to dig deep. I think that's the first time we heard dig deep in this episode. Unless I missed something because I was narrating the challenge so much. But we are now at tribal. We're at final tribal here. Oh, the spoilers were wrong? What was the spoilers? Like, I know there was like a final three. I know the final three was spoiled. Was this not the spoiled final three? Again, I haven't looked at I've avoided spoilers the whole time. Like what was the final three supposed to be? I guess I can look it up afterwards, but it's like I don't want to risk 50 spoilers. Anyway, actually we're gonna commercial. Should have expected that. Okay, okay. So the spoiler said it was Savannah Rizzo, Sophie B. Global TV spoiled the winner. Okay, don't say it. Don't say it. Is Jenna Lewis first line 50 preview or is it Suri? Who would have? I think I initially in the poll I initially voted for Jenna because I was thinking they were going to go for like the history approach, but I think I backed out and voted for Suri. I mean, I guess we can look at the poll. So this is a poll for again. This is a bit further down. So Suri has 6 votes. Jenna has 7 votes. Okay, and then yeah, so it seems like Jenna and Suri are like the front runners. Like again, Jenna because like the Borneo thing, and Suri because she's like I guess the biggest legend on this cast. I guess we can scroll up a bit more. Oh yeah, this was the Savannah thing. It's pretty evenly divided between tying and breaking the record. I voted for tie, which ended up being correct. Pretty cool. Okay, so this is the jury vote question. This is interesting. So the most popular, or I guess the most voted, was that it was going to be a like a slim majority, not slim majority, but like close, like 5-3 or 5-2-1, like 5 votes for the winner, which is interesting. I voted for 7-1 because I do think final trial may like be decisive. That's interesting. Like, so I guess I figured out like the final three. Final three spoilers were so wrong. I mean, they got 2 out of 3 right. I mean, I don't know if that's so wrong. A lot of people seem to think this is gonna be like a close jury vote. That's interesting. It's like I guess like I mean like again like I think Savannah's gonna own up to her game. Like I can't really imagine Savannah like bombing Violent Tribal. It's like I think Savannah's the type of person who will like probably like take ownership for a lot of things and like will like be like forthright and stuff. I think Sophie B will struggle a lot. And it's like, are they really gonna coalesce like the anti like Savannah people? Are they gonna coalesce around? Are they really gonna coalesce around Sage? Like, are they really? I don't know. It looks like Jeff is doing like a ad thing. Oh, is this the? Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that. So this is the idol hunt thing that they're doing. So they're gonna hide an idol in each state, and I believe it's like the whoever finds it first is like going to they're gonna get like a seat. So it's like the prize is like a seat at the finale, the 50 finale, or I think that there's also like a 5,000 like cash prize too. Anyway, we are back now. Okay, now it's actually final travel time. All right, Rizzo is gonna ask first. You ended up in hospital. Oh my god, what happened? All right. Hmm. Okay. 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 Not great. Not a great answer from Sage.
Right now, Joanne's asking for your why for winning. Okay. Okay. That was a good enough answer from Savannah. Right now, Sophie B is giving her answer. At least Savannah owns her narcissism. I guess she kind of is. Okay. Not great that we're just hearing about this now, man. Yeah, Sage. Yeah, it's like she never talked about this on the show, so it's like it's not a great look. I mean, not great Edgic sign for Sage, but obviously a sad story. Okay. All right, now Christina's asking a question. All right, she's asking Savannah. All right, she's asking about not Savannah not knowing about peeps. All right, she's asking, "Do you know us?" Okay. Uh-oh. Oh my god, is this gonna be another Brian moment? Oh my god. Oh my god. This like this like Brian Heidick all over again with like Penny. This is embarrassing. just just wait for everyone to talk about how this is like the problem with 26 days. Like, oh, it's like 26 days, not enough time to get to know people. It's like they're gonna like point right to this. Yeah, not great look, obviously. I know MC's talking. All right, she's asking about pushing to get your way. Okay, Sage is claiming that her voting out Steven was her decision. Okay, Christina supporting her. Okay, now Sophie next. Okay, so she's going back to the pre-merge where only Alex knows about this. Not again, not great that you're going to the pre-merge. Like it's like at most you're gonna like appease like one person. Not a great answer. Now Savannah's next. All right, Christina. All right, probably good decision here. Right now Sophie's like pushing back. Right now Sophie's countering. Okay, now she's claiming Savannah's talking about how she was loyal. Miss she was going to go to the end with Rizzo. Now Steven's asking. He's asking Sage a question. All right. It's like why is she like she's talking about her career. Like she's talking about how like I guess like it's a counter like the emotion thing, but it's like again I don't know if this is like landing for anyone. Like I think she was expecting this to be like a big reveal or something. Okay. All right. Now again like she's doing what she needs to do. Now my Nate's up. All right. He's asking them to name a move. All right. Sophie's up. Okay. She talks about her social game. Not really a move though. Okay, Savannah. Okay. So Savannah is taking credit for the Sophie vote. Sophie S vote. Okay. All right, now Sage is on. So she's taking credit for the Sophie S move. Yeah, now Sophie's like pushing back. Uh, she didn't push back against Savannah. Now she's pushing back against Sage. Why don't you say the Alex vote? All right, that was something at least. Like again, I feel like she could have said like the Alex vote. She could have said even the Steven vote. Yeah, like yeah, 'cause early in the tribal, she mentioned like they talked about the Steven vote. Anyway, time we have final words. All right, good. Sophie B knows her history too. Savannah's up. Does middle seat always win this season? I need to remember the middle seats. I don't remember like that type of stuff. Savannah's sitting in the middle. Okay, Kyleton's in the middle. Now Sage is up. Okay, Gaylor's didn't in the middle either. Okay, that was Final Tribal. We're about to go to commercial. Okay, that was interesting. So yeah, I mean, I guess we can talk about that. So again, I think going through them, obviously, like Savannah has like that really bad moment with not naming anyone here. Like obviously that is bad. Okay, we're at commercial break now. Yeah, it's like I think going through them, it's like I think Savannah for the most part articulated her points. Like she always like I feel like she was definitely like concrete and stuff. But again, it's like I do think like that Christina response was pretty bad, like very noticeably bad, and it's like kind of stands out. I think Sage is like I think her approach was like interesting, like but it's like and I think like she recognized what she needed to do. I just don't know if that approach was like the greatest. Again, it felt like she was just relying a lot on like talking about the fact that she was like a security analyst or an intelligence analyst or something like that. It's like I guess like it's meant to show that she has like this side of her outside of the game, but like I just don't see how like that works like inside the game. It's like people who like focus so much on like revealing their profession. It's like obviously we just saw this with like Ashley on BB 27. Um, who else? Or like I guess like this whole like lawyer thing that we've seen some of these more recent seasons of shows. Like I feel like if I were like in the game, it's like I just wouldn't like care about like what you do outside the game. It's like okay, it's like yeah, like I guess it shows like you have like this.
potential to like be like different from like how you perceive, but it's like I feel like it's just not enough to change like your entire perception like just like one night. Like I feel like I don't know. Like again, like I appreciate the effort. I just don't think it worked. Like I think the fact that people were calling her out at tribal too is like not great. And it's like again, I don't think Sage is again, she probably still gets Jawan's vote, but that's pretty much it. Sophie was a bit more interesting. Again, like again, I think her worst point was probably like again, I don't like how she doesn't name like a specific move for herself. I think she like again, like she did try to like point like her social game and how like people were coming to her, but it's like I think the fact that she just remained loyal the whole time like kind of undercuts that a little bit. And I think as well, like again, the fact that her move was like a pre-merge thing is like a missed opportunity there. But I don't know. I don't know. Like I feel like at the end of the day, like Sophie B probably like made a good enough case for herself. So yeah, it's like I would I can't like I think the thing with Savannah though, it's like I don't think there was like that like clinching moment for Savannah. It's like in terms of like the votes, like I guess we can pull back up the vote. So this was my projection. It just takes a minute to pull up. So I have the projection here. Oh, no, that's not it. Right. So in this scenario, I have Sophie B getting no votes. Right. I think Christina. I think based on this performance, I can see Christina going to Sophie B. Alex talked pretty highly about Sophie B as well in their thing. I could definitely see him going for Sophie B at this point, to where it would be what like a 5-2-1. Let's see. So I think Nate votes for Savannah still. Rizzo votes for Savannah. Sophie S votes for Savannah, I think. What does MC do? Like, is MC gonna care? Like, I don't know if MC will be that receptive to Sophie B's final tribal. Like, I don't know. I think Steven probably votes for Savannah still. Like, I think he's probably on board. Yeah, I think Christina probably votes for Sophie B. I think I could definitely see Alex flipping, especially seeing how high he talked about Sophie B in like his like pre-tribal segment. And I think he's probably like satisfied enough with Sophie B's like performance here to like feel like I think Alex would like see like Sophie B is like playing the game that he wanted to play. So I think that plays an element to it. And I think Jawan probably still throws his sympathy vote onto Sage. So again, I think after seeing this final tribal, I would expect it to be 5-2-1. But we are now back from commercial. We are about to get to the jury vote here. This is gonna be pretty big. We have 82 people on stream right now. Thank you for joining us. No, I'm not going to broadcast for the tribal. Anyway, we're getting up the votes here. We'll see. What votes do we see? That'll be interesting. We have MC voting for Sophie B. So looks like MC was she says it sounds like she was persuaded by Final Tribal here. Uh anyway, so we got MC's vote here. We have Steven voting for Savannah. Not unexpected. I felt like Steven was pretty likely to vote for Savannah here, so that's not surprising. Do we see Jawan's vote? I think if we yep. All right, he's hiding his vote behind his hands. Yep. Jawan votes for Sage here, so we know all three of them get votes. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, like I do think I again I think if we did not see Jawan's vote, then it probably means Sage gets 0 votes. But I think the fact that we saw Jawan's vote again made it pretty. It was pretty obvious that it was going to be a Sage vote there. But anyway, everyone's voted at this point. We know that that all 3 of the finalists got at least 1 vote here, sort of mirroring last season. Also mirroring San Juan del Sur the last season to have a all female final 3 here. But Jeff is currently collecting the votes. All right. I'm guessing we're getting a 5-2-1 here. That's my guess. I'm guessing 5-2-1 Savannah. All right, but here we go. First vote, Sophie B. Savannah. One vote Sophie, 1 vote Savannah. Gonna get Sage vote next. All right, we are tied 1-1-1. We got Sophie, 2 votes Sophie. This is probably Christina's vote, if I had to guess. All right, 2-1-1. Probably all the others are going to be for Savannah. Savannah, 2-2-1 right now. All right. Yep. 3 votes Savannah, 2 votes Sophie B, 1 vote Sage. It's probably going to be what decides it. And there you have it. Savannah has won Survivor 49. Looks like a 5-2-1. We'll find out commercial. All right, we have Jeff talking right now. Okay. Okay. All right. We're now going to break. And your promo for the after show up ahead. All right, it's gonna be a little bit before we get to the trailer, but yeah. So not unexpected. Again, Savannah winning here makes sense. Again, I feel like I kind of saw by the end of it. I feel like Sophie B definitely had set up for a downfall here. Then Sage again. Is that? But again, we'll see what the actual votes are like when they come back. We know MC was one of the Sophie votes. We know Jawan was the Sage vote. I'm gonna guess Christina was the other Sophie vote, but like we'll probably get confirmation after the break here. But yeah, I mean, most people voted for a 5-2-1. But yeah, so like we've gotten most of the questions out of the way. The one left is the 50 trailer. Well, obviously that'll be a little. Well, actually, no. We also have the will Jeff ask people who want to be on 50? That's the other big question here. To which most people said yes. I mean, not going to be surprised here. The question is Jeff going to confirm like, hey Savannah, hey Rizzo, you want to be on 50? Are they going to like? Is Jeff like going to cast them on the spot? Anyway, we are currently on commercial break. If you're just joining us, Savannah has just won Survivor 49 here in a 5-3-1 vote. Mind you, we only got 4 votes from, we only saw 4 of the votes from Savannah, but obviously that 5th one doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, because like if Savannah, I mean, if Sophie B, if it was 4-3-1, then we would have gotten the third Sophie vote. So, or we would have seen a third Sophie vote, I should say. Anyway, we're currently in commercial break. We're gonna watch the after show here. Really like the main intrigue. I mean, who cares about the after show? Uh, who got Sophie B vote? Well, we saw MC. We know MC voted for Sophie B. We saw her voting confessional. And I think based on how things are going, or at least based on how Final Tribal went, I'm guessing Christina was the other vote for Sophie B. But we don't have confirmation of that just yet. We're gonna find out after the break. Getting a commercial for this SpongeBob movie. If we're still on break here. Okay, looks like we're finally back from break. Yep, now we're getting to the after show. We just saw it last season. Okay. Okay, Jess asking for votes. Jawan's admitting his sage vote. Yep, makes sense. Yep, Christina was the other Sophie vote. Yep, makes sense. Yep, well, we know that Christina was the other Sophie vote. Again, I personally would have voted for Sophie. That's just my thoughts, but again, not too unexpected. Clue for the season is S, which is why Final Three. Like, what S? Like, where's the S? Looks like Juan just looks like Juwan just spilt some champagne on his pants. What is so many people like? Okay, so five people have S's in their name. Like, what does that to do with the final three being all women? Like, what does that to do with anything? Who will be in the season 50? Well, we knew that. We know that already. It's Savannah and Rizzo. Like, they're the 249 people. Okay, so it looks like Sophie B named the merge tribe. I mean, she pulled like Eric Reichenbach by or like Boston Rob from Redemption Island of coming up with a merge name like means like it's like a joke, but or like a Malcolm from Caramoan. Like we've seen this before.
All right, looks like we're going back. Okay, we're back on break now. Reading the Discord right now. Looks like a lot of people are pretty high on Sage, which, again, I think Sage played an interesting game on the season. Like, I definitely think she's like high on the player ranking. Like, like I do think Sage played like a decent game. Like, well, obviously it was one where it's like I don't think the jury like respected her that much. Like, I definitely would not have voted for Savannah at Final Tribal. Like, I feel like her game is like very questionable at this point. Do you think Savannah is a contender for 50? Well, we know she is on 50. How well do I think she'll do on 50? Probably not great. I mean, we're probably gonna get like another segment or so, and then we'll get to the trailer. It's gonna be like at the very end of the special. Well, we know the again like the broadcast is supposed to end at 11:22, so like we have like 20 minutes left. But yeah, I mean, I guess we can talk a bit about like Sophie B versus Sage here. So I think so obviously it's like the tough thing about Sage is like I do feel like she didn't have much win equity in the season. Like I feel like again like I feel like it played out I feel like her prospects at the end played out pretty similarly to what I would have expected her considering that I do think people like had a difficulty like altering their perception of her. That and also I think she was like not in the greatest position during the pre-merge, where again she was like on the outs, kind of on the outs during the pre-merge, on her original Uli tribe. Does she get voted out if they go to tribal early on? That's something I'm still a bit up in the air on. But again, like she does like recover. She does like pivot away from Shannon after the swap. So even then, like, was she even in like the greatest position on her SWAT tribe? Like, it seemed like she was like responsible for like flipping against for like helping to like get numbers against Sage or Shannon, but it's like how much of that translated to her like being in a good position herself? Like I think on the whole her pre-merge is like definitely something you can question. And then we get to the but I do think from the merge on she like plays decently where again she is like in on the Nate vote. She is part of that, like her and Jawan. She is also like seemingly pretty good during the MC round. Again, that was a factor. Um, and yeah, like her and Juwan, the swing votes for the Alex round. Well, like she does flip there. She is blindsided at the Juwan vote. That's not great. But then yeah, like she does like pivot pretty well. Though with that said, like I do think she kind of gets into a awkward end game where yeah, I do again, like I think when I'm thinking about it, it's like I think factoring in her win equity, also factoring in like the fact that she didn't seem to be that effective in the end game. Like I think it's kind of hard for me to have Sage at number one. Like so I think that's kind of an issue there. I think compared to Sophie B, I think Sophie B was like more consistently in the majority, like from more of the game. Now, obviously, like Sophie B does have missteps along the way, where it's like, yeah, she does like struggle to beat Savannah, but yet despite that, wants to get to the end with Savannah. I think she takes too long to like make a move on Savannah and Rizzo, and even then, like it felt like she only did so when she kind of had to. I do think that's an issue. But again, I do think Sophie probably had more win equity on the season. I mean, even against Savannah, she gets 2 votes.
potentially gets 3 votes if she's at the end with like Christina and Savannah. I think Jawan votes for her in that case, to where again that's a 5-3 vote. That's something at least. So then again, like how much of that is due to Savannah's like mismanagement? So it's like I don't know. I think I may still have Sophie be over Sage when I'm thinking about it. Like I think we need more information about like Sage's win equity or Sophie B's win equity. Like does Sophie B like have a winning scenario at the end? Yeah, we are still commercial by the way. It's taken a while. I think it would have been Jawan. Yeah, I do think it probably would have been Jawan had they gone the trial, but obviously that would have left Sage in a bad spot. Again, she was again on the outs of that alliance. Anyway, she would have been losing one of her closest allies. So again, even if it wasn't her, it still wasn't looking great. Anyway, we're back now. With me, it's 5-2-1. Oh, he was talking about the Jawan vote. All right, so right now Rizzo's talking about him not playing the idol. Okay, Jeff is talking. Okay, they're just talking about the conditions. Okay, who cares? Rizzo Blessy played with this cast and not a competent one that actually puts pressure on the person with the idol. Yeah, kind of. All right, now they're just talking about Alex and Rizzo. I mean, Alex and Sophie B. Like, do you think Alex and Sophie B would have been a duo if they were in the same swap tribe? Maybe. I mean, I think the tough thing is like I I don't get the greatest sense that they were even close in the original tribe. Like I feel like the sense I get is that they were close to each other. They were like associated. They were connected to Jake essentially. It's like both of them like were like close to Jake essentially, and that kind of forced them to work together. Like I feel like that brought them together more so than anything. And I think like if they were closer together, they probably would have worked together more, even if they were swapped separately. Because like we saw Malcolm and Denise, like because we saw Malcolm and Denise being swapped onto, we saw them being separated on Philippines, where they were on different tribes for a few rounds, but they were able to come together. I don't really feel like Alex and Sophie B really had that. Like I feel like they probably would have like come back together somehow if they really were working together. What do you think the next theme of Survivor is? Well, there's not really a theme on Survivor these days, so I don't think there is a theme. What should be the next theme? It looks like Sage is pretty emotional right now. Like, yeah, Sage seems to be pretty bothered by. I think it's. I think like the fact that she's out of the game now, like, is kind of like catching up to her. It seems like. Imagine Jeff just cuts to commercial. Okay, now they're asking about Jake. Which winner's better this year? Miles, Kyle, Parvati, Savannah. Oh, easily Parvati. I feel like they're focusing on they're talking about Jake having getting to meet his son. That's pretty good, or his child. But yeah, Parvati easily played the best winning game out of the Survivor people this year. Okay, going back to commercial. Yeah, looks like we're about to get the 50 trailer. All right. Yeah, I think if we're ranking the winners from this year, I'd say it probably goes Parvati, Kyle, Savannah, Miles. Yeah, yeah, I do think Savannah's. I think Savannah's clearly better than Miles. I think compared to Kyle though, it's a bit wonkier. Like I may need to think about it a bit more, but again, like I do think I feel like Kyle was like in a better position for more of the game than Savannah was. I think he probably was like less dependent on like situations like outside of his control, or at least less dependent on things like immunity wins or like advantages and stuff. Like aside from him like needing an idol at the swap, I think for the most part I'd say Kyle played a more stable game than Savannah did. Not that I think Savannah like is like bottom of the barrel, but it's like I feel like her game is like still not the greatest in the world. So obviously, I'll have to like wait for like exit interviews to like really get a sense of like where she like stood on things. Um, Making about me to the max or like stage would come get together. Who is the best non-winner on 49? Sophie B. Again, it's between Sophie B and Sage. Like again, I'm seeing some people saying that Sage would be number one on the player ranking, but again, I think we'll have to wait for exit interviews to like get a sense of like Sophie B's win equity. But again, I just think like on the face of it, I think even taking out like the final like six play with the knowledge is power, and the fact that she just took too long to flip, I just think Sophie was like probably just in a better position for more of the game than Sage was. Like while I think Sage was like more dynamic, and I think while Sage like tried to do more in her best interest, I think Sophie B was just in a better position for more of the game. And I think that's kind of like what makes it hard to like really like debate the two here. That and also win equity, I think.
Better non-winner like overall this year. Um, Probably Joe. I think you have Joe. You have Kalen, obviously. Okay, moment of truth here. We have the 50 trailer coming up. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. All right, here we go. It looks like Jonathan. That's Coach. That's so I guess Coach wins the poll. All right. They're showing Savannah. All right, we have Jenna, Suri. Has there really been that much time? We have Colby, we have Q. Yeah, it looks like he's playing up his personality this time. We have Ozzy. Focusing on Savannah again. We have Camilla. This is surreal. Zach Brown. We have Devins, Christian. Oh, they're showing the Beast Game things. Oh, it's Mr. Beast. What do we knew about this tie-in? We have Aubrey. We have Joe. Mike White. All right, that was interesting. All right, now he's plugging the Idol Hunt thing. Oh no, that was a 10 episodes thing. Who I think it will win is Sage, Sophie, Rizzo. Probably. I think Rizzo. I think Sophie, but it's like I think we'll have to see the thing. We'll have to like wait for exit interviews. Oh no! Now they're signing the thing. They're signing the thing. It's the thing that got leaked. I'm surprised they're showing that on the show. Like they're still showing them signing the thing. Like when it got leaked. That's funny though. But yeah, that was an interesting trailer. But yeah, I mean like so yeah, like who got content there? I guess we can like talk a bit about the trailer. So I guess I have all names pulled up here. So like I guess we can just pull back up the poll thing. So let's see. So we can go through each person. So Angeline didn't get much of anything. That's probably not great. Aubrey Aubrey got a line, didn't she? I thought I heard Aubrey. Charlie got nothing. That's not great. Chrissy got like I saw her face, but like I didn't like
again, Charlie, I saw like a reaction shot like during the Beast game thing. Chrissy didn't get much. Not that I saw. Christian got a lot. Christian got a bit. Suri got a bit, obviously. Coach got the opening line. That's decent. That could go either way. Like I feel like Coach like seems like a natural narrator. Colby got a line. That's again expected. I feel like D didn't get anything from what I saw, but again, I could like reassess. I could like I feel like we need to like rewatch and like go through it more slowly. But I didn't see anything from D. Didn't see anything from Emily. That's not great. Nothing from Genevieve. Not that's not great. Jenna got a bit, but again, that's to be expected. Joe got a bit expected. Jonathan got like focused, but like from behind, and like he also got like a close up. But I didn't really hear him talk much. Camilla got a bit. That's could be good. Kyle got nothing. Mike got a bit at the end, but again, that could be expected. I think. Ozzy got a bit. That's 100% expected. Like I don't really like know how much to buy into that. Q got a bit again expected. Devin got a bit, mostly what I would expect. I don't know how much to read into that. Rizzo got nothing. That's questionable. Like why would they not show Rizzo, especially when he was just literally just on the season? Savannah got like she got like close ups, but like no like lines from what I saw. Stephanie, same thing, and then Tiffany got nothing. So again, interesting breakdown here of like who got content. I don't really know how much to like read into like certain things. Like I guess like if people didn't get anything, that's probably like more of a bad sign for certain people. But is there anyone here who got content that like didn't feel like they needed it? Like Aubrey got lines, but like she didn't like a confessional. Like I feel like it was just like a voiceover from what I saw. But I think maybe I don't know how much to read in the coaches though. I don't really know how much to read into that. I think Joe could be good, like the fact that he got screen time there. But then again, he's from one of the more recent seasons. So yeah, I'm not really sure what to really make of like. I guess like Christian, like the fact that he got content is like could be good. Also Mike White. But I feel like most of the other people, it's like you can see why they would throw them in there, like regardless of the outcome. But very interesting stuff here. Obviously, I'm unspoiled on 50. I'm not. Obviously, I'm gonna remain unspoiled here. Let's see any of your reactions. Yeah. Rizzo and Savannah are the two people on 50. Like we knew that from like months ago, and I didn't know that, which may or may not have affected my viewing experience of the season. But we knew that already. Jake Glammer. Jake's not on 50. Three, get to the end. Yeah. I think you would assume Sheree will win if she gets to the end. Survivor 50 is gonna be larger cast since Australian Survivor cast. I mean, it's the same size as an Australian Survivor cast, 24. Unless like the Beast Games things like screws things up here. Like the tie-in like with Beast Games is gonna be very weird though. Like I don't really know like what they're cooking up with that. But yeah, I mean, interesting stuff here. But yeah, I mean that's the season. I mean 49. I mean it was a season of Survivor. Player ranking review is to be expected to be coming out. Uh, am I gonna have guests? Am I gonna like? Am I? Are you asking if I'm going to have guests or if I'm gonna like be on the specialists? I mean, right now I don't have anything like planned with them. I mean, I haven't really like communicated much with them, but I wouldn't be against it. This was better than 38 finale. Yeah. I mean, that's not really a high bar to clear though. Thought 49 was mid. Enjoyed your coverage though. I'm glad you enjoy the ride. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I mean, I'll probably touch upon it when I get to the review. But I mean, again, it was like an okay season. Like by the end of it, like I do think. I mean, I think it's just. I think the problem is like I struggle to care during a lot of the season. Like, I don't know if it's the fact that I don't know if it's the fact that it's before 50. I don't know if it's like the fact that the cast like there weren't like any like major characters in the season. Like I'll be honest, like I don't think I really connected with the cast that well in the season. Like I don't think I really like felt like that like connected to any particular person, which I think is an issue. Um though I will say like I think a pro to the season is like I do think that at least like again they had swaps. That's something at least. There was at least a somewhat dynamic post merge. I think definitely more dynamic than 48's post merge. But then again, I feel like the pre merge was like mostly bad. Like the pre merge was like so boring. Like I mean, it was just like a whole bunch of like pretty easy votes. And I think also like knowing who's on 50 like again like made the season like less like interesting because it's like again like and I mean it's a mixture of things. I think it's like a mixture of like knowing like that Rizzo and Savannah would be on 50 but also the fact that Hina was like non-existent on the show as well. They tried to make it seem like there's gonna be this Hina Uli war when it's like it's pretty obvious who's gonna win that war. I mean, heck, even if I didn't know about 50 like stuff, like I think it would still be obvious that like Uli was gonna win the war. So again, there's that. And I don't know, like I don't think this was a particularly unpredictable end game. Like I mean, yeah, I mean the jury vote is like kind of interesting, but it's like it wasn't like like that unpredictable. So I don't know. When's the next live stream? I don't know. I mean, there's no like shows coming up soon, like so. I think the earliest may be like the HK finale, but even then, it's like do I care enough to do a live stream for the HK finale? Especially when I'm gonna be on stream afterwards. Like, I mean, I guess like you can like catch me on like the HK streams for with Flame Masters, Ultra, and Gem when the break comes back. Aside from that, like I don't really have like live stream specifically laid out. Best season of the year, AU versus the World. I feel like it's not even close. Like Brain versus Brawn 2 was like good. I do feel like it was a step down from Titans versus Rebels and Heroes versus Villains, but it was a fine season. I feel like if I had to rank the seasons, probably AU versus the World, Brains versus Brawn 2. Then right now at least, what would I rather rewatch? I actually probably would rewatch 48 over this. Though I think it's like kind of hard because like the season just happened. I think I would need to like sit on the season for a little bit and then like come around. Who will return for 50? A lot of people. There's 24 people in the cast. We caught some of them on this trailer. From this season, it's Rizzo and Savannah. Those are the two people from this season on 50. Aside from that, like you can like look it up. Like again, they have the cast list online. You can see who it is. It's 24 people. I prefer a 48 or a 49 because I thought the 48 pre-merge was entertaining. So the poster doing a bore. Yeah, I mean, with 48, like you at least had the Justin tribal, like that was interesting. Even the Thomas tribal had some intrigue to it. Again, entertainment wise, like you have like Eva of it all, like I have some personal connection with that. So yeah, I mean that's something at least. Again, like with 49, it's like I feel like I have nothing to like clamp onto. Like I feel like it's just I just did not care during a lot of the season, if I'm being honest. Like again, I'll be very curious to see how the season ages in my view, but I feel like for right now, it's like it's just very hard for me to like think too highly about the season. Not that I think the season's like actively bad, but I just feel like so much of it is like either boring or not very interesting. Um, thoughts about the collab with Mr. Beast. I think it's weird. I really hope it doesn't like I'm a little concerned about how it will affect the game. I'm a bit confused about how it's gonna affect the game. So it's like we know like there's gonna be like a Beast Games element to it. Like is this gonna be how they like eliminate people in the pre-merge? Like because like we know like they had to do something about like the fact that there are 24 people on a cast and it's 26 days and like they're probably just gonna hit the same 13 episodes, right? So we know coming in that they're gonna have to do like multiple like they're gonna have to do like something to like really trim down the cast as fast as possible to like accommodate the schedule. I just hope I like it makes me worry that like are they gonna base like eliminations on challenges? Like I really hope not. I would be again, I think that'd be pretty stupid if they did. So I am a bit worried about that. Aside from that, like we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Like I am a bit worried about that though. Still upset Malcolm wasn't picked. I don't know. Like we've already had Malcolm like 3 times. I like obviously like I say that and like you have like Ozzy being on for the fifth time. You have Suri also being on for the fifth time. Six if you include AU versus the world. You have Coach on for the fourth time. You have Aubrey on for the fourth time. Who else? You have Colby on for the fourth time. Um, but yeah. What else is there? But yeah, I mean, on the whole, it was still like an interesting ride. Like being able to like talk with y'all. I'm glad it didn't go too late here. But wondering if you on. I was wondering if you any all had anything you want to talk about before I sign off. So the plan moving forward is to do the player ranking. Hoping to have it out within the next day. I like to wait for I got recorded like some of it already. Like I like to wait for the exit interviews of like the final five to like really finish it up in case I don't want to like not have certain info in there. Yeah. Yeah, I do think the cast is lacking in terms of like people from the 20s. Because it's like yeah, it's like because like if we look at people who play in the 20s, it's like coach doesn't count because like he's from like 18. Like you had like Ave Maria and Philip in the running, but they got cut. Malcolm was obviously would have been like a good 20s rep. And aside from that, like I don't think there's like a lot of great picks from the 20s. Um, so yeah, player ranking review is gonna come out probably next Wednesday. I think either Wednesday or Monday. Haven't decided yet. Yeah. That was like a whole thing. There was like a couple days where like people thought that Philip was gonna be on the season, and then it got like revealed that it wasn't. So yeah, so ranking review. I have an HK video coming out. Like that's the power ranking for the was it, episode 11, I think. And then the last video of the year will be the awards. Yeah, so I need to figure out the awards and put that video together. And then coming into the new year, I mean, we got Traders. Obviously, that'll be like an interesting show. Um, I do have some general videos planned. I actually have like one rank. I have a new ranking that I just released for members. That's gonna come out first Saturday of January, so that'll be fun. I'm probably gonna make others along the way, and then I do have plenty of video. I do have some video ideas for 50. Like obviously, there's the preseason power ranking. I also want to do like a player ranking for like a pre season player ranking for 50, where it's like I talk about the 24 people on 50 and like rank them as players coming into the season. Like not as like a like not as a power ranking where I make my winner pick, but like sort of like separate, like where I just talk about them as players. Like something that'll be interesting. Maybe I'll make several other videos along the way. Like I definitely want, like I don't want it to just be like my standard like coverage for normal season because obviously this is a special season and there's actually stuff to talk about with these people. So be on the lookout for that. And then obviously the season starts at the end of February, and I'll be doing my normal coverage for it. My plan is to avoid spoilers as much as possible. I understand that the season is spoiled, so again, I've been very fortunate so far to avoid spoilers, but obviously I'm gonna have to keep that up. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much everything that I have planned for the near future. And yeah, I mean, unless any of you all have anything you want to ask or talk about, I'll probably end the stream here. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. I mean, obviously, like I said, plenty of stuff coming your way. But no one else has anything you want to talk about, I'll be heading off now. So yeah, thank you so much and see ya.